Hey, and welcome to the most loopiest loop TTRPG this side of YouTube.
You do need sleep, don't you?
A little bit. Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Legends of Logomancy, where we are playing a TTRPG this evening, and welcome.
Hello.
I completely forgot our intro normally that we do. Hello. And just want to see how everybody's doing first of all. Let's how about we go around the table first and say hello, James. How are you?
Hello. James's play tonight is sponsored by Giant Bag of Teddygrams.
Ooh.
Not an official sponsor.
Yet.
But if Christy wants to hit us up, totally a thing. No. Doing okay. Living dream, doing all right. You know, getting some really good news. I found out that our podcast, Roll for Beer, we are averaging about 100 listeners a month now, which is kind of cool. That's a really good milestone considering we have like 9 episodes. That's awesome. So, I'm pretty chuffed about that.
Nice.
I'm excited to play some TTRPGs with my friends and find out who the little sad robot is, and about the space ghost that lives in everybody's devices.
Always a fun thing.
It's obviously Space Ghost.
It's obviously controlled by the Tube Men. Obviously, yes. JR, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good this week. Yeah, I'm very excited to see where this goes.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Tegan, how are you?
I'm good. I also want to know more about our little robot friend and who Victoria is.
Awesome.
I'm excited to solve this mystery with you guys.
Awesome. Perfect. And last but not least, Pixie, how are you?
I'm doing pretty all right. It was a good day today.
Good.
And if I were sponsored by anything, it would definitely be Diet Pepsi. This will be gone by the end of the night. But I'm drinking it out of a really cute cup. I got a fluff.
I love it.
Baby displacer.
Little cat.
I love it. And this is why we take a pee break halfway through the stream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's human functions are very important during halfway through the stream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we need to just do a very quick recap. After I quickly state that I had an absolutely wonderful weekend and it was terrific and I'm feeling real good. Didn't get much sleep, but hey, that's okay. But we're here now and let's get things going a little bit weird.
Love it.
So, we find ourselves in the year 1985. About February-ish. That's a little louder than I think we need it to be. We find ourselves in around 1985 range. Most likely September, early September. Fields are being harvested as we kind of zoomed around Alberta and met our cast. Enos, Dougie, Jeannie, and Sophie. For not exactly misfits, but for kids of the 80s. Trying to live life, trying to figure out who they are, and probably starting to go through puberty, which is always an awkward stage in any person's life.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And as we zoomed around, I have to turn my master volume down. Good Christ, that was way too loud. Sorry, I've got a little bit of nerves tonight. I don't know why. But anyway, we started zooming around and we started going everywhere and we started meeting everybody and we started finding out about strange happenings in the town. We started finding out that G.I. Joe was playing at the evening for some reason. We started finding out about weird messages coming from radios and from TV shows. Things not matching up. Some very strange phone calls in the middle of the night. And other kind of weird things happening around the town. Does anybody else have any kind of other things they want to add that they found during the last episode?
Girls are scary.
Girls are scary. Indeed.
And that if I play my cards right, I too can have a sick ass van.
It's true.
Yeah?
With what was it? It was a unicorn riding a lion.
Using bikini-clad people as jet skis.
Yes.
Yeah.
And flying through the stars.
Yeah.
An absolutely amazing van.
Mhm.
There was also something that Jeannie had found in the library. Jeannie, what did you find in the library that was so strange?
I found friends. I mean,
You
I
found
hope
a
it's a
friend.
friend.
You found
I
a friend-shaped object.
Exactly. He's very friend-shaped. Super cute. Jeannie found a little robot. Small enough that, she could fit it in her big old backpack. And she has brought it to study group.
Yeah. And the robot the battery was dead on it. And Enos was able to get a bit of a charge on it.
Doing my best.
And as we got it charged up, there was a bit of a flash, a little bit of a burn on the robot, and its charge plug is now broken.
For the moment.
For the moment. But as the episode was ending, the barn door shot open.
Uh-huh.
And standing at the entrance of the barn,
It's Ma Straight.
Mama Straight. Now, I've already warned the players, but to our audience, this could be a bit of an intense moment for some people. And we just want to warn people that this is something that could be considered intense. The players have been warned, and we wanted to warn you. Anus!
Enos stands up perfectly straight and about faces, hiding the robot behind him.
What in
Ma?
the hell is that flash? And she comes stomping across and stands right in front of you, standing tall. She is a very tall woman. Probably around, I would say 6'1".
Enos looks her in the eyes because he knows he needs to.
She looks down and sees her son, and she kneels down, seeing basically, what would you describe the electrical cable as?
It is It kind of looks like a industrial version of an XLR. Bright blue, large round plug, probably 15 to 20 amp service running through it. It looks like what you would plug an old school Russian washing machine in with.
Got it. Yeah. It's definitely got the marks of what you would plug basically the tractors in with and things like that, like a rather large plug. And it's been hacked up a little bit so you could get it to fit in properly. And she crouches down and she goes, "Sweetie," and grabs your face.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you be doing that. I already lost your father. I don't need to lose you too. She squeezes your face a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Now, I notice that the fence is painted. Good. Now, I also notice that you haven't been getting the scrap collected. I asked you to do that.
Been trying, Ma. I gotta go to school.
I know that you gotta go to school, but what the hell are you doing in here right now? And what the hell is that behind you?
He stammers quite a bit and like turns and looks up to Dougie specifically.
It's for our computers project.
She looks up. Oh, Douglas, you're here.
Yeah.
Oh. And she looks around and sees the other two faces. Are the other two are the girls peering down at this?
I think that Jeannie is staying back out of the way.
Okay. Is Sophie?
She would have peeked over, but then probably just taken a step back.
Okay. So she probably only sees Dougie at this point.
Yeah.
Don't you remember Mrs. S calling you? We've got a study group. This
Study
is a project
group?
we're working on.
So two of you study on this.
Couple of us, Ma.
Yeah.
And Dougie helped me paint the fence this morning so we'd have extra time.
Jeannie and Sophie are here too.
You got two others up there.
Yep. Staring at her.
She
down.
she lets go of Enos's face. All right.
Yeah, Mrs. Scott, she said that we had to do some extra studying to get my grades up. So, yeah, they're helping us out. They're really smart kids, Ma.
Good. You get that so you can get back to the farm. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
and then she waits for a minute to see if Dougie will move. And she kind of stares up at Dougie. You go get your books, Dougie. And she's like staring directly at you. What does Dougie do?
No, I'll grab him in a sec. And I'll
Get
pull out
your books, Dougie.
I'll pull out one of the cherry bombs and just start tossing it in my hand.
See you tonight, son. And she turns.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like all of you to make an emphasis. I'm gonna screw that one up again, like I always do.
Empathize check.
Empathize. For some reason, I cannot say that word. Empathize check, please, everybody.
That's a fail.
Enos, You immediately get the upset condition.
I am now both scared and upset.
Oh,
But at least I'm not broken.
Nope. Dougie, you will get the scared condition.
Okay.
Because you just stared this lady straight down. And you are probably actually terrified of this lady.
Yeah. In
The
my
only
head.
reason why you did what you did was because you were up there.
Yeah.
Now, the two of you heard this conversation, the two girls.
Mhm.
You guys heard the conversation up in the loft. You didn't see the actions, and you didn't see the fact that she just kind of walked away.
Enos takes a while. And like Dougie would probably see this. The workbench that's down on the floor that he was using to kind of jerry-rig charging this thing, he's just like picking stuff up and putting it in drawers and like opening drawers and closing drawers and like moving stuff around.
Yeah.
And he like takes like a like one of those big ass, remember those lanterns from the 80s
Yeah.
that had a big square battery about yay big?
Yes.
He grabs two of those batteries, and you know, probably like that orange lamp camping lantern that goes into it, just the whole thing, and just shoves it into his tool bag because he's thinking about this little robot and like trying to focus on the little robot.
Yep.
And like Dougie sees him wiping away his tears, like keeping his back to the loft as much as he can. And
If I see him crying, like I would turn away from him to give him some privacy.
And that sounds like the 80s.
it's like feelings.
Feelings.
You're allowed to have those at home.
It is Enos's home. Technically.
He's gonna grab this like little like orange ass camping lantern with a massive battery in it.
Yep.
And then like scoop up the little half fizzled robot and the remnants of the cable that he plugged into it. And he's gonna climb up that rickety ladder coming upstairs because he is definitely afraid of making more noise.
Yep. So, do you carry the little robot with you?
Yeah, he's just like
Yeah.
a pet dog in it.
Yep, pet dog in it.
Yeah.
So when you put the little robot down on the floor, its the bipedal legs kind of just like take a second to adjust as it got kind of jumped, basically. Like it's jumped awake, and it's almost like it's a little drunk as it's walking now, because it's got a really weird surge of power, and it just kind of bumps into things as it's kind of moving around.
That makes sense.
Trying to get its GPS kind of back up and running again.
Jeannie's gonna get right down on, like, wants to get right down on the floor with it again, like in the library.
Okay. It bumps into your leg.
Pat it on the head, like, you okay, little guy?
And as you pat it, you see a little indicator pop up on it. And it's got a little battery kind of symbol. And it's showing 2 out of 3 bars. So it didn't get a full charge.
I did my best, but I don't have the right plugs, but I tried. And like he's apologizing to Jeannie profusely without looking at her.
Jeannie like looks up at him, which, because she's very small and also sitting on the floor, is like, look way up and I'll call Rusty. But she's like, I think he needs a name. Do you think we should give him a name?
Well, I just shocked him back to life. How about Paddles?
That's really cute. I like it.
It's a good name, Enos.
It's better than Sparky.
I was
Thank
going to
you.
suggest legs.
And
Ginny like is almost like stroking its head.
it's kind of moving around the room. Again, it's like trying to get its GPS kind of figured out as it bumps into people and objects. And then eventually it kind of figures itself out a little bit and then kind of just puts its legs like this. And then you hear in a very robotic voice, standby mode. And it puts its legs down and it kind of goes, "Eep." And its little red light starts blinking again. But
Oh, it put its legs down
but it
because
is
it's in standby mode. No. And Enos is shattered. He is shattered immediately. Nobody laughed at his joke. He tried
take a
so
broken
hard.
condition. Take a
Look, I didn't realize that was in character because out of character, it's a disapproving look for me. But in character, Jeannie would have found it funny.
That's fair.
you get a few laughs as the joke kind of happens.
Comes too late. Can't make this better for me.
Give me a tech check if anybody would like to on the little robot, and I'll give you a little bit more information.
Do you
about
want tinker or program or calculate or just straight tech?
I will take. All right, tech is the attribute. Sorry.
Yeah.
I will take tinker, program, or calculate.
No,
All
I-
right.
Sure.
I got one success because of my scared and
Oh.
upset.
I got 2 successes. Yay.
One for me.
All right. Wow.
Wow,
Everybody
Sophie-
succeeded.
Everybody succeeded. You guys can actually find the make and model of this guy. You guys can find that you've seen this battery symbol before. You can find it in the little manual. You guys actually you go wait. You're like Enos is like, wait a minute, and he goes digging through some junk, and he pulls out his little pamphlet, and you see Scoutbot, product of Mirasaka Inc. And you open it up, and it's an actual small manual for this little robot. And you're able to. It's mostly damaged, water damaged, and things like that. But you can find out some small information about it. Dougie finds the serial number. Sophie realizes that the battery, this has about 2 weeks of battery life in it.
That's good.
And you're aware that you can't charge it again, Enos.
For now,
you're not able to charge it.
I could probably hook it up to a car. Hey, I have a Rayovac 100 orange portable 6-volt camping lantern. What's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that could happen?
You could
Yeah.
blow it up.
Hey, you know what?
That might be a case, but
Technically-
it's 6-volt.
And you know what? This is the 80s. Nobody can get hurt in the 80s.
Exactly. What, are we gonna wear helmets? Come on now.
Exactly.
Before my time.
Not before mine.
Helmet's gonna mess up
So-
my hair.
Everybody, even although the event was past, how is everybody kind of feeling about what transpired?
Not
Because-
like doing goddamn schoolwork, that's for sure.
So Enos is distracted, obviously. Dougie, how would Dougie kind of take this? Has Dougie seen this before?
I would think Dougie has, because I spend quite a bit of time with Enos. Not a huge fan that this is going on, but I feel like it's his grandma, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's his mom.
So that's his mom.
Yeah.
So his
That's his
mom is
mom.
kind of, I feel, is perhaps a little bit worse than my me.
Your grandmother's a saint comparatively.
Yeah.
She feeds me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she feeds you, too.
And she feeds me too. Even though she doesn't like me. But
yeah.
I'm definitely
Okay.
shaken up a bit because I don't think I've ever. This would be the first time I've probably confronted her
Okay.
about it.
Okay, perfect. Sophie, how does Sophie feel about this?
Sophie definitely feels like his mom is very intense. Not necessarily in a good way. And she's not sure if maybe this is like the safest place at times.
Are we switching study locations? Are you taking me to a secondary location? Girls are scary.
And Jeannie, what does Jeannie feel?
Jeannie feels a little awkward. She doesn't really know how to deal with a situation like this. She's never been around it at all.
Yeah, I was about to say Jeannie's probably the most fish out of water for this.
Her parents are pretty chill. Like they're really supportive and stuff. And I don't know if she's even realized, like, I think that like she's known that like there are kids that have a harder time with parents than she does, but I don't think she's like realized that there are kids that have a harder time with their parents. Like this kind of makes it real.
Yeah, so there's that kind of realization for Jeannie here. I'm gonna get you actually, Jeannie, to roll mind once, just straight up mind on this, to see if she can actually kind of put it into a box or not.
Compartmentalize?
Yes, thank you.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. You are taking the upset condition on this. Because this is... your character is not used to this kind of thing. You have a very loving family and a very understanding family. This is not something that you've seen. That's the reason why I want to say that for Sophie's family, they're an intense family because they're sports people. And if you've ever been to a sports arena with your father in the arena yelling at a ref, that can get kind of intense.
Wait, it's the hockey moms. They're the scary ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moms are scary.
Actually,
the road rage of soccer moms.
Actually, my father was actually thrown out of a game because he was very intense with a ref one time. But anyway, so you guys kind of take this somber moment after the robot kind of adjusts itself to the area. And you take a moment and the books don't really open again.
So, cool robot. Seems to be working again.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. And it looks like he's, going to be functioning for a while, which is going to be helpful because, I mean, I don't know, maybe we want him to take us where he came from, or who knows what kind of information he has. And unless that was just a recording, he might know how to talk.
True. Riley, you said, what was it? Sakamoto Industries?
Yes.
Which means, if it's got a production, is Sakamoto Industries related to our Loop? Or are they a third party?
They're a third party, but the Loop normally deploys these robots, and they're kind of deployed by the military, by civil servants, things like that. The Sakamoto Industries is one of the leading companies in Japan that creates these robots.
You said it was a scout model?
Scout model, yeah. Okay. Or recon model.
Mm-hmm. So if they're... if it's not a super top secret thing, maybe there's a chance that its bits aren't necessarily proprietary, That might be a thing that we can look at some point. There's a Radio Shack in our town that might have a better understanding. Like Jerry over there, he knows his stuff. Like,
Okay.
he has a modem.
Oh my gosh, yes, he
He
does
played
have
the
a
sound
modem.
for me once. Oh man,
It sounds it's a weird sound, but it's the sound of progress. It's the sound of the future.
it's the sound
All
of
computers
eldritch horror.
always will always have that sound.
Where'd you find this little guy?
Said he was
Like
in the library, right?
Like I
Yeah.
saw you playing with him in the library before you scooped him into your bag, but where'd you get him? I didn't think like we were allowed to have these. You are muted if you are speaking. Bear with
Sorry,
me.
I was typing notes and I have a really clacky keyboard, so I muted myself.
That's fair.
Well, I didn't he wasn't mine. I didn't bring him with me or anything. He was in the library.
Oh,
He was watching us from the stacks.
but why would there be like a Sakamoto scout kicking around in our school?
Watching
No
children.
idea.
That's weird.
Do they not
Is there
trust us to
anything
have a
else
good
with it?
study group?
I don't think that they would use
Fair.
resources like this just on watching us study. But
I think you grossly underestimate the incompetence of the Albertan government. Too soon? Too soon?
Who's
I
who's
can
in
try
charge
to
of this
ask
one?
some questions, like find a way to ask my dad if these robots are used in like education at all. I mean, if I can find some way to tie it in, he might not realize that I'm asking because I have a robot.
It's fair.
Awesome.
Hmm.
So, as you guys are kind of sitting around talking about the robot, the books obviously go unread, and your notes are starting to pile up on your corkboard. Scout robot. Who is Victoria? What is this? Weird TV messages. Like your board is starting to get filled, and then you hear a honk,
And it's a goose.
It's a goose. No. Well, it is a car named Goose. What the minivan pulls up, and you hear the honking again, and you recognize the sound, Sophie, as your dad or your parents' van, anyway.
Okay.
On the back of it, there is a bumper sticker that says Goose.
Peace was never an option.
And there's a pair of sunglasses because it's obviously referencing Top Gun.
I like it.
Wait, when did Top Gun come out? Oh crap, did I just mess that up?
Oh, it's fine.
80s.
80s sometime. So
Yeah.
You're off. by
Technically,
your mouth.
it doesn't come
You're
out until next year, but their dad
Probably
is very like on the ball.
yes. So yeah, a sticker from the future arrives at the Straight household, and it's time for the kids to all go home.
Well, thanks for helping us study. We should probably try and do this again, so they don't kick me out of school. That'd be real nice. Also, your robot said something about a Victoria person, and
It was on a
That's-
note.
yeah. What's up with that?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard the name before, but I don't know who she is. That's something I can try at home too. I can try saying the name Victoria around my dad and see if he reacts. I'll just mention like a kid at school named Victoria or something, and
So they
see if-
Right.
they were
Weird.
looking for the 1965 yearbook. I mean, we can find that. We can look
Well,
for that.
I think I read it. Sorry. Yes, Riley, question quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Pretty sure I wrote it down in my notes here that the teachers were talking about her too. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Well,
So-
I have
like-
an idea. And he's abashed. He's looking at the floor. Still very much upset and a little scared. If Sophie, you got a bunch of like sports and stuff to do, right?
Yeah.
If you're at the school a little longer than everybody else, do you want to grab one of those yearbooks?
Yeah, I can definitely try and find one. Seems like the teachers were all gathering them up.
Well, here's the thing though, like if Dougie and I are at the school after the bell rings, somebody's gonna be super suspicious, because that's not us. Let's be fair. And then I can fix a radio, and then we can listen to the radio and see if it gets all Space Ghost coast to coast on us.
Nice reference.
right?
Nice reference.
Those kids were like, oh, the radio was all like weird, and there was somebody talking to them that wasn't, Cyndi Lauper, and that's a little weird. So like I can do that, as long as it's not too loud.
I think that's a good idea. And do you think that Paddles could maybe stay here? If I try to take him into the house, I just don't want my parents to find him.
Enos, you know that your mom never comes up to the loft.
Yeah, we can. I got some boxes. We can make him a nice little. You know what? I got you. And he walks over and he finds that old dollhouse that he just like pitched before, and he's like, he reaches into it, and this thing's not small. It's like, and
Oh, and
he,
it's that creaky plastic too, like that stuff that is definitely like
yeah.
full of chemicals.
Yeah, it's made of chemicals, and he's like, I'm pretty sure that I can melt most of this with no hazard to my health in any way, shape, or form, and I can have a nice little spot for him to just like. He regards the robot's legs, and it's like for them to hang out in, and he like slides it into a. It's the 80s. I'm not assuming a robot's gender. I've seen enough mecha anime to know better.
So, yeah, you guys kind of settle up your kind of your night and stuff like that. You agree to basically say that, yeah, study took a little while. We're going to try again next weekend, kind of things like that. We ended up having to help Enos out with a couple of his chores or whatever, as the other car comes driving up and parks beside the van. As you start hearing two adults talking to each other. You hear Jeannie's dad talking with Sophie's dad.
Brother?
No, Sophie's dad.
Oh.
My dad.
Yeah. And you kind of hear that, yeah, so, do you watch much sports there? Been watching Calgary Flames there now, there, bud. And you hear Jeannie's dad go, I've been watching a little bit of nature documentaries, and you kind of totally get the fact that he was 100% bullied in high school himself. And Sophie's dad was totally one of those bullies, just going like, yeah, now there, bud.
It's worth stating for the audience that in the time period that we're dealing with, the 1985 Stanley Cup playoffs, led by Wayne Gretzky of the Edmonton Oilers, won the Stanley Cup playoffs that year.
Yes.
Against all odds, because Oilers suck.
I would just like to say that I have no allegiance to any Edmonton local sports teams, so
Yeah.
I'm unbothered
Yeah,
by this.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, you hear Sophie's dad. Yeah, no, they definitely won the cup there, but the Calgary Flames are gonna get it this year. Don't worry about that, now, bud. I've totally made him now a bit of an East Coaster, but that's fine. Right down there, bud.
With a name like
That'll
Sophie,
close in
probably
Alberta.
an East Coaster.
Yep.
Doyle?
Doyle. Very actually, yeah, no, very much so. So yeah, you kind of hear Jeannie's dad trying to talk sports, and he's like, "Yeah, the puck going down the ice, and
Goes
Look
sports
at
ball.
Jeannie and be like, should we go rescue our dad?
I think that's a really good idea.
yeah, it goes into the net, and the lights go off, and woo."
She's like, "Hi, Dad."
You dad.
Son! Jeannie! Thank God. Jeannie.
One of them slaps their thigh and they're like, well, looking to be about that time. The Canadian conversation ender.
Yeah.
Time to mosey on up the dusty trail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
No,
it's a dirt road.
Yeah. And
They don't pave my roads.
and Enos, you and Dougie hang out for a little while longer. And you guys set off some fireworks in the back, away from the house.
I would
Farther away
hold
from
off
the
on
house.
that 100%. Because noise. Anything that's going to draw attention to them, totally not going to be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'd help you collect some scrap for a bit
Mhm.
before we head on out to
Yeah. And it's
shoot some
It's not
fireworks.
productive in any way, shape, or form. It's just like, it looks like we're doing a lot.
Yeah.
Because frankly,
Oh,
Mom's
looking
not,
busy.
yeah, looking busy. Because
A lot of it
Mom's
is
not
just
gonna
moving
know
stuff
better.
around, spreading it out from a pile,
Yeah,
make it
'Cause-
look like they're.
because really, Mom's not gonna know any better. And it looks like we're moving a lot of stuff. There's a bunch of like, they almost look like crates made out of pallets, just like wired together with chicken wire. And there's different big metallic barcoded plates on each of them. Because Enos pulls stuff apart and fills up these things, and different companies around town will come and take the scrap that they want. Like he's stripping copper, throwing it into a crate. Somebody comes and buys the copper, kind of thing, and they
Yeah.
pay directly to his mom.
And you actually just were picked up on what I was just about to ask, if you guys were going to do that. Actually, speaking of, there is one of the people do come in, and you recognize this guy. Very Russian, very just. You have metal?
Sir, yeah.
Good.
We got a bunch of the plates that you normally, like the plating that we pulled off of this big metal ring up here, sir.
Good. It's good metal. Good metal. Good.
And then all the bolts. I didn't use the bolt cutter. We undid them all with the wrench like we're supposed to, so you can reuse all the bolts and stuff, and they're all
Yeah.
in mason jars and things. Yep.
Good kid. Here, and he gives you guys two $2 bills. This is for
Sweet
you guys.
Jesus.
So you guys get two $2 bills. And he goes, good. Rest going to mother. And you see them get like this kind of lift, goes in, picks up the buckets, and drives away.
Thank you, Mr. Yuri, sir.
Yeah. And and he drives off, and he leaves you two just kind of standing there. And you see your mom get into her car in the front and drive off.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I have dinner at your place tonight?
sure.
Cool.
All right.
Let's and he like looks out the barn until she's passed and gone over the cusp. And it's like looking outside. Let's blow some shit up.
So we're gonna end that scene with the two boys going off and lighting off the fireworks.
I grab two
and
old
just-
propane tanks and we walk into the woods.
Yeah. And as you guys leave, a little robot up above stands up and goes and walks over to the little broken screened remote TV that Enos has that he had found. He sits beside it and it flickers to life. Hello? Did someone get my note? Hello?
I like it.
And we're going to go through the weeks a little bit. Cold weather starts hitting, and snow starts falling over the plains. Fresh powder coats the grain fields, and silence falls over the prairies. It is an eerily quiet time of the year. And Enos now has a little bit more free time. And we're going to actually go to Enos's house, where there's a knock on the door.
Mechanically, is our luck and conditions reset by doing
Luck
so?
is reset, not
Okay.
conditions yet.
Okay.
As there is a knock at the door at the Straits family farm, and your mom answers it. And walking in, he doesn't even ask, is Clarence. Clarence looks over and goes, Enos, get to the truck. Taking you out today.
Sir?
Uh,
Doesn't look at his mom.
yeah.
Just like beats it past her into the mudroom and
Yep.
starts grabbing stuff.
Yep. And Teresa's out there. I kind of changed Teresa a little bit. Teresa is Clarence's daughter.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm up for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Fucking crazy.
yeah. As your mom is about to go stop you, he puts his hand in the way and goes, now, I'm gonna say this right now. This isn't what Greg would have wanted. I'm taking him out for the day, and his goddamn chores aren't gonna be a damn issue. Enos, I've got tea and Timbits in the truck. Teresa and I are taking him out hunting, and that's that. And and Clarence steps back and lets you finish getting ready. And you head out to the truck.
Interesting tidbit. James didn't have a Timbit until like 2008.
What?
We didn't have a Tim Hortons where I grew up.
Oh.
That was never a thing. And I moved and I never ate at a Tim Hortons for anything. It was never a thing. So
that's fair.
I had Hortons
Okay.
for lunch today.
Nice.
sensible. I had Teddy Grahams.
So outside is a 1979 Ford pickup with a bit of bigger tires on it, just for the mud tires and all that.
No back seat, just
No
like
back
full
seat.
on. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you see Teresa in the truck, and she's got a book in her lap, and as soon as you get in, she's like, "Okay, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this," and she's like flipping pages. See, look, and she like holds up this book that has pictures, like Polaroid pictures of footprints and other things like that, and she goes, "Look, I told you, I told you, I told you," and it's just, it looks like it's a bear track, but it's like a little bit weird kind of thing, and she's just like so excited that they're going out to where the deer have been getting eaten weirdly.
Well, Teresa, it's kind of odd because like, what you got here? And like he's saying this in front of Clarence, almost on purpose.
Yeah.
You're thinking that it's like like that Bigfoot that you were talking about. But this is weird because it looks like the hindquarters of a big old bear, because you can see where the toes are and you see where the little nails are. So like, unless this Bigfoot's a bag lady, not taking care of their toenails or something, like they wouldn't have all these extra claw marks on the top.
Yeah, but they don't have toenail clippers. Of course a Bigfoot's got big toenails. That's the whole point. and you guys start talking about the etymology of a Bigfoot versus a bear. As you guys are driving down the highway. But we're going to cut over to a slightly different scene. As Sophie, what sport practice is it today?
Probably downhill skiing if there's snow.
Yeah.
Or cross country if there's no
Cross country.
In
Some
Red
type of
Deer.
skiing.
Yeah, cross country. You know what? Yeah, it's cross. It's biathlon. I'm gonna say it's biathlon.
Ooh, yeah.
Because that makes
100%
sense.
chance
I'm
of
good with
shooting
that.
today.
Yeah, 100% chance of shooting today. Now, you weren't as upset as the other kids, but you know, you still had you saw some pretty weird stuff, and you've been hearing about some weird things, and you're a little off today. And your coach comes by, Coach Lily. And she goes up, "Hey there, champ. What's going on? You're slow on the course today. What's bothering you, kiddo?" And she comes striding up, and she's a little bit older now, but she was a past Olympian for a couple of different skiing courses and stuff like that. You know, what do you kind of say to her as she comes up and checks up on you?
Sophie would probably tell her about the weird stuff like she's heard in school. The TV flickering, maybe a voice on the radio. Not sure if it's actually something going on or if it's just weird coincidences.
And she's kind of just nodding and just going, "Yeah, there's been a lot of those kind of weird things. I've heard a bit about it. A couple of the other kids have talked about it." And she starts kind of just, you know, just talking through your feelings a little bit and what's kind of going on. And as that's kind of happening, you can feel that ever-present feeling of the loop. Again, you feel that pressure, that kind of feeling of pressure from the feet all the way up through your body and then just out through the top of you, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And you just keep feeling this hum and this pressure. Sophie doesn't really, like I said, doesn't have any kind of negative effects. So what I will give you on this, I will give you guys a bonus on whatever roll, because you don't have any status effects at the moment. A bonus to whatever roll you want, you'll get to roll it twice.
Okay.
as she just kind of does like, yeah, you know what? Hey, that's okay. You know, that's okay. You're feeling all this pressure. You got a lot of pressure on you. Your parents are really putting you through the ringer. How many other practices do you have this week, kid?
Sophie just kind of like looks down or like trying to still look away, like not wanting to answer the question. Just knowing there's probably more than a typical kid, like 12-year-old should have.
Yeah, and Coach Lily kind of just looks and goes, and you're good at a lot of them, but we gotta get you focused. I'm gonna talk to your parents about this eventually. And we're gonna go into a little bit of the past week as well. As Jeannie,
Mhm.
you walk into the library after school one day.
Okay.
And with everything weird going on, you run into Mr. Greenhorn, the librarian. And he's a bit of a portly man. You know, a little bit rotund, and he just kind of is moving around, stacking and putting books away. And as you walk in, you kind of breathe in the library area. The musty old books and other kind of things happening. And there's now a sign on the Commodore 64 that says out of order. Please do not put drinks, food, cans of WD-40 anywhere near the computer.
Technically, it was a 386.
386, yes. But there's now a new sign on the computer that says new computer coming soon, in brackets, hopefully. And as you walk into the library, you're getting this feeling of comfort. And Mr. Greenhorn sees you walk in and he smiles at you. Oh, Jeannie, just on time. And he comes over to you and he goes, "Here, I've got that new book for you." And he pulls out, I'm trying to think of what came out in the 1950s or 1980s? I actually had a book written down, but now I can't seem to find it. Book release.
Clive Barker's Damnation Game.
Oh, you know what? Well, I was going to say The Handmaid's Tale.
That also did come out in 85.
But that's also probably not really... No, you know
Ender's Game. Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card came out.
You know what actually also came out?
Mm.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the original radio scripts.
Ooh.
As did the Vampire Lestat, the Polar Express, and Perfume, the story of a murderer.
I love the Vampire Lestat. I love that book so much. It would not be Jeannie's style. However, I think that like one of the nerdy things about Jeannie's dad is that he was probably really into Douglas Adams and like Doctor Who and all of that, like really, really nerdy shit. It's probably a lot of how he ended up bullied in school. But I think that he's shared a lot of that with Jeannie. And she would probably be really excited about like the radio scripts and be like, oh my gosh, let's take this home. And Dad and I can like read the different parts and do voices. And it's so cool.
It's worth saying that in 1985, the third book of the Shannara trilogy came out. Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks. I don't know if Pixie's hip to the lingo.
I'm not familiar with it.
It was a bad TV show by MTV.
Okay.
They tried to do a Game of Thrones thing, but it's a really good book series.
So yeah, he got a copy of the book or of the radio plays, and it's in a bit of a kind of like a. It's actually in a binder kind of format, because it is actually supposed to be used for radios, and he was able to get a copy of it.
Really
or duotangs, if you will, or other kind of equivalent. I don't know if Oh, there's so many things that I'm like, wait, was that out in the 80s? Did we have the technology for binders in the 80s?
Yes.
I think binders were a thing.
Binders, folders, and duotangs in school in the 1980s.
All the above.
Yeah.
And post-it notes, as we clarified.
As we did clarify
Yeah.
in the last one. And yeah, he pulls this out, and he takes a look at you and goes, "You got something hanging around you. You wanna talk about it a bit?" It's not the headaches again, is it? I would presume that you would have told Mr. Greenhorn about the headaches, or he would have been there if you've had one or something.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's not the headaches so much. There's just, I mean, I guess I'm finally making friends, which is really good. It's like nice having people to talk to.
Oh,
But
good. Mr. Greenhorn stops himself for a second and goes, "Oh, Dougie's not one of the boys, is he?"
he is, but I promise I'm not letting him be a bad influence.
Okay, alrighty. Okay there.
What did you spend those $5 on, by the way?
Yeah, yeah, here's a question. Do you think Jeannie would have noticed the $5?
It's $5 in her bag unexpectedly in the 80s.
Yeah, if it was, you know what? Because she just suddenly found it in her bag, Jeannie would actually, like, the next day or the next school day have gone to the school office and been like, I think someone put this in my bag by mistake. So I wanted to turn it in, and if someone comes looking for it and says that they lost $5 in the library, it's probably this $5.
And you know what the thing is? Good chance they believed you 100%. But yeah, you see the his wallet is like, you see it in his pocket. like you see the outline of his wallet in his pocket now. And you see him just kind of like holding his hand over his pocket kind of thing like that, and just going like, yeah, so Dougie, and you have a nice discussion with Mr. Greenhorn. Is there anything that you cover with him specifically?
I think she wants to bring up the fact that she's feeling really bummed out to know that, like, her friends don't all get to have supportive parents like she does. And she feels really lucky to have that, but she also feels kind of guilty when she sees her friends being sad because of their parents. She doesn't really know how to process those big feelings.
Mr. Greenhorn kind of leans up against his desk and he nods and he goes, everybody is born into this world with different responsibilities and different lots in life, and sometimes they're very good and they have very good people around them, and other times, sadly, it's not always the case. We get dealt a certain hand of cards, and it's how we play them, if you will. Enos is a good kid. And we've heard inklings, and sadly there's not much we can do at the moment. But know that we want to make sure we're taking care of the boy as well. And he does his best to try and comfort you and give you that kind of supportive feelings. And you can remove your conditions.
Would she notice that he keeps like touching his wallet to like make sure it's still there?
I think he stops after a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, he definitely stops after a bit when he's talking to you. But you do notice him do it again as you're leaving. He's become a little bit paranoid about it. He's not expecting you to do something like that, but he's being a little bit distrustworthy of everybody right now as somebody broke into his desk.
That's fair.
But it doesn't affect your anchor with him, just so you know. On that same day, Dougie walks into a office that he knows very well.
Yes, and I would say that I've been acted out more than usual lately.
Yep. And you hear a very familiar voice from behind the desk as a man in brown slacks, blue shirt, and a medium-sized brown afro kind of looks at you and goes, "Oh, Dougie, come on in. Sit down, bud."
Sure.
And
Sure, Mr. A.
it's Mr. Armstrong. You know that. Now, come on now.
Yeah.
Now let's talk here, Dougie. Let's talk. As Mr. Armstrong gets up, he's a bit of a taller, kind of wiry man, and he leans against the desk. Says, "All right, Dougie, let's talk here now. We've talked about the outbursts and how we want to try and fix that. We want to find those happy moments and, paint them out a little bit. I've seen your creativity, Dougie. You're a creative kid. Tell me about your outbursts."
Bro, I just find it hard to, I don't know. People always are just assuming I'm doing things, so I might as well do them anyways. I don't know. I feel like you just get put in a box and that's it.
But I don't believe you do that. In fact, I believe you've got a lot more talents, a load more talents, bud. You got good creative energy. I've seen it.
Maybe you don't, but sure feels like everybody else does. Even me.
Then show them that they're wrong, bud. Take that and find those happy little clouds and get them on that canvas of life now. And he goes into his desk and he pulls out a small container of paints and a brush. And he goes, "I've seen you be creative. Now here's the deal, Doug. You give me that lighter. You change that attitude. And I will give you whatever creative supplies you want or need. You just have to give me that lighter. And if you're not ready to give it up just yet, that's fine. But just know that deal's on the table for you, bud. Okay? You got a good soul."
I'll pull it out and look at it and flick it open, but not light it.
Yep. And Mr. Armstrong is he's smiling at his desk, just looking at you.
Last thing that I have, really, from my dad, though.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes you have to just be able to let go of certain things like that. But it takes time. It's anger. There's a lot of anger in that lighter there.
I don't think I'm quite ready. I'll flick it closed and put it back in my pocket.
And Mr. Armstrong smiles and he goes, I didn't think you were ready yet, but that's okay. You let me know when you are. And hey, we'll find someone else to remind you of your dad. But that tool has a lot of violence in it.
Sometimes, though, you gotta. Violence is necessary right? For some people.
He thinks back, and you kind of take a look, and he takes a look at a picture on his desk. And there was and he flips it around, and it's a picture of him. And he's standing there with 5 other men in army uniforms. And he goes, violence is a lot of things, but it doesn't make it who you are. Now, the deal's out there. If you want to come in and paint pictures with me, and paint on these canvases, and the canvas we call life, you let me know. Now, try and be kinder to the other students, and try not to let your grandmother's bathroom on fire. Don't do that again. Please, for me.
I'll do my best.
That's good. Now, come on. Let's do the other parts of this. And he goes through the rest of the kind of therapy and stuff like that. And you can take off your things.
Okay.
And we will end with one more stop in a truck that's going off to a hunting spot. Ricketing around on the road. You've been now talking for about an hour and a half about how the grizzly bear's paws might match this type of paw, even although there are no grizzlies in this area. And you're just going back and forth on this.
Really, like, what you're showing me here, it's got 5 toes, and that makes sense for bear. And I mean, like, it's certainly not like a gorilla of some kind, because there's no like opposable thing on it. And I'm pointing out inconsistencies in which she's obviously drawn with a pencil on a piece of paper.
Yes, it's pencil drawings on everything, and there's like different kind of notes everywhere. There's even notes about dinosaurs. They roamed the plains here, and
here's the thing: what you have here, that triangle shape with the slight notch webbing, it kind of looks like a hen, but that's called a goose. And that's more terrifying than anything that you've talked about today.
No,
okay?
Hey, we don't talk about gooses in this car. You know that.
We don't... Gooses? And I look at her dad. I'm like, gooses? And he's like, leave it alone, son. Just let it go.
Yep. It's, hey, you know what? She's passing everything but English. I'll take it.
Yeah. I'm like, that it's not a wolverine, not a bear. I mean, the only thing with 5 toes that's going to show up like that is going to be some kind of, like, hindfoot hedgehog. Like,
and
Enos knows what he's on about.
The truck pulls over to the side.
Yeah.
And you guys get out. And you hike out about a half hour, 45. And you come up to a clearing. And you guys wait. And wait. And the 3 of you kind of just wait in the bush, and this is the calming that you need. You have your dad's friend and one of your best friends beside you. Despite everything about her, she's a caring friend, and you have a caring person there who wants to see the best for you. You can remove everybody can remove their conditions. And for Sophie, like I said, you get that extra bonus of, you didn't have anything major, there wasn't anything major for you, but you do get that bonus. You get basically an extra luck point whenever you want.
Can I roll to see whether or not we're successful?
Yes. Actually, you know what? Yes. Yes, you may, sir.
I'd like to try and
Do
use
it.
move specifically to make sure that we're not we're positioned well, and we actually are able to be successful. What time of year is it?
Winter.
It's late September, like mid-September.
Awesome.
What type of season is that? That's
Well, yeah, we're looking in like RWMUs for probably deer at this point.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna roll move and see if there's any success.
Okay.
One success.
Good job.
Serenely consoled by his friends and by I must have bumped my USB. Consoled by his friends and the scenario and the smell of buckshot.
Yep.
Bear with me a sec. My camera is having a bit of a fit. There we go.
I mean, it's kind of fitting for some reasons.
Yeah. The scene is right, and the smell of gunpowder in the morning, it's just ripe, and
Yep.
the deer jerky will be ever so munged. It's a good time. It's a full day.
Yep, it's a full day, and you know what? You guys do snag a deer, which is awesome.
Thank you for not using the term catching deers. It's a whole
Catching
internet thing.
deers.
Catching deers. Did you catch anything? Yeah, we caught and released it. It was fine.
Yeah. It was
You
this big.
snagged a deer.
It was this big.
Yeah, you guys snag a deer, and it was you didn't get to take the shot, but Teresa actually was able to take the shot, and this was her second shot on this, but you did get you guys were able to snag it, and it was awesome. And you guys you help with the
Processing.
the processing of it. Trying to think of the exact wording. I don't know the wording.
It is all good.
And yeah, you process the deer and you guys get it onto the truck. And as you're leaving, Teresa turns and points. And across on the other side of the road, you see one of the deer that she was talking about. The deer was killed by something much larger than it. And it looks like it's almost got marks out of it.
Is this as we're going up the road?
Yeah, this is as you're going up the road, going back.
I'll be. And they said that we didn't have bears around here.
And you guys drive on. So, we've now met our anchors. These are characters that will show up again in probably the 4th episode of this series. But I have been told that I have been too lenient on not giving out certain things and certain feelings.
Oh.
What? Who said this?
My.
Who said this?
Who do we have to talk to?
There's a few people who have said that to me, and I said, "Oh, okay."
Oh.
But that being said, we find ourselves in the Hawthorne residence, the Straight residence, and actually all of the residences, because it's time to watch a little bit of TV.
Enos doesn't have a TV.
Or radio.
We established this as canon in
yes,
episode 1.
Yes, we did establish this as canon.
My
But
screen doesn't work.
Your screen doesn't work, but you're able to get CBC radio,
I was about to say.
and it's hockey night in Canada.
I like it.
And don't.
You got to be able to carry a tune for a copyright strike. It's okay, right?
Yes, this is true.
And so we kind of it's that beginning part of winter where we get a little bit of rain in the background as the weather doesn't know exactly what it's trying to do yet. So we have one of those scenes where there's snow everywhere, but it just heated up just enough to get a little bit of rain.
Chinook.
A Chinook. And so we got a little bit of rain as you guys kind of settle in. It's hockey night. It might not all be watching hockey, but it's hockey night. And actually, you know what? No, this music really isn't that good for this. This is a little bit better.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's a little bit better is because the loop is on tonight. And you can see it in the TVs and you can hear it in the radio. Almost as a heartbeat. You see the static in the TV. Pulsing out, almost like it's alive. And you hear it in the radio as these almost just he's going down the street. I'd like you all to roll me a D8.
Enos is mad because he swears he fixed this radio already. That's a 2.
Okay. I just need one more. As the sports announcement is going on and the play-by-play is happening, for Dougie, the play is normal. See the puck going down the ice. Now, Jeannie, are you watching hockey or are you watching something else? What are you watching?
Definitely not hockey in our house.
Okay.
I'm just looking at what I think would be like the most likely thing that Jeannie would be watching with her dad.
Degrassi.
I think that they would be watching MacGyver, but like making fun of it. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
couldn't do that. Those things would never make that happen. Like they're just they enjoy like heckling it.
Awesome. So, Jeannie, your dad gets up at one point to go make a quick phone call, and you're watching the show. And you hear as you see MacGyver go up, and he takes a wad of gum, and starts unclipping or unfurling a paper clip as he's making an explosive somehow out of these two items.
Building a nuclear reactor.
Yes. You hear those who know are all around. And now if I put the gum here and put it in and Sophie, as you're watching hockey, your dad is snoring on the couch beside you. Your brother, you hear drums in the basement. And your mom is talking to somebody on the phone, and your other brother is paying attention to this, and your sister is still nowhere near you at the moment, sitting on the other side of the couch, reading a magazine, just looking up at you with daggers every once in a while, then flipping the page, not paying attention to the TV at all. And it's like, oh, what a shot! Oh,
Find me.
and it goes on. And then, sorry, I just heard a bunch of noise there for a second. And it goes through and through. Now, Dougie, you had the regular show, right? Or you just heard the regular?
Yep.
Yeah. Enos, I didn't. As you're sitting there, you hear Red. And it's very different than the sportscast. Now I want you all to roll one more time. 1d8.
Hear the word red?
Red. Ooh.
Ooh.
Going through again. And now I would like you all to roll a check here. And this is going to be, now you're kind of trying to pay attention. Either investigate, calculate, or comprehend.
I'll go with calculate.
Okay.
As
Nope.
will I.
I'm gonna do comprehend.
Same.
Oof.
Enos is just too distracted by the fact that he's like, I fixed you, or why are you picking up like weird ham radio signals? Give me my hockey. He's like going to grab a wrench.
Yeah.
I am going
Enos.
to spend a point of luck to re-roll this.
Okay, fair. Would you like to re-roll? I should ask you, Enos.
You know, might as well. Give it a go.
Doesn't hurt. Yay!
One success.
All right. So everybody got a success.
Burn to luck.
Yep. All right. Dougie. I see. And then it goes around. Again, the heartbeat of the loop. This happens as the TVs flare up. Sophie. I am Victoria. Jeannie. Green. And Enos, as you come back up with your wrench to take to your radio, Silver. And then, as quick as the loop started, it fades off for the evening. And the static drains from the TVs and from the radio. And you hear, "What a goal! Can't believe it!" Or, "I can't believe you saved the day with a paperclip, gum, and tinfoil."
He really didn't. The show is very unbelievable.
And as the MacGyver show finishes, You're kind of just sitting at the table, kind of with your arms crossed, or at the couch with your arms crossed. And your dad comes and sits down next to you and goes, "So, sorry about that. It was just the director. What did I miss? Was it as ridiculous as it sounded?"
It was even worse, Dad. Like, you really didn't miss much.
Yeah, but I missed the time to make fun of it with you, That's the important time.
We'll do it again next week, though.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I know you have to do your best at work, but it's important for everyone.
Yeah, no, I know. It's what it is. It's so tell me, how's the study group going?
Really well, actually. At least I think so. Everybody's getting along really well, which is nice.
Good.
I think that we're making progress, and it's kind of nice to hang out with people outside of school.
Good. This is the important things of growing up. You making friends and just helping them out and everything. Like, this is good. This is good. Oh, so glad to hear this.
I'm enjoying helping too. Like, it's not just a school thing. Like, I like helping out. I want them to do good.
Good. Oh, that's wonderful. So glad to hear that. Now tell me what are you working on? Like, tell me the subjects. Who are these kids? I don't hear about these kids. Tell me about them.
Well, Jeannie will go through and tell her dad about Sophie and Enos and Dougie.
Okay.
Does he know any of those? Like, does he respond to any of those names?
No, he doesn't. And he's just like, awesome. Yeah, good. Okay, good. Then he's on nodding. Oh yeah, I picked you up at the Enos's farm. He doesn't know their last name.
He's got a really cool loft in the barn that we can hang out and study in. There's a bunch of tables so everybody can spread out all their books.
You guys are being careful. There's no like rusty nails, no tetanus or anything, right?
First of all, you know that I have all of my vaccinations, Dad. You've been very careful about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. I just old barns and germs.
Enos wouldn't let us get hurt there.
Good.
I love how that's what the dad is asking to be careful about. That's great. That is great. You don't want to get a rusty prick in you.
Just so you know, in the rulebook, it literally says the parents are useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my god, I love it.
So, are you going to push any of those things that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, Jeannie's gonna say, so when we've been studying, one of the things we've been reading a little bit about is like technology and robotics, because like they've become such a big part of everybody's lives.
Yeah, no, 100% they have.
We don't see a lot of it in schools, really. Like, do you think that there'd be use for things like robots in schools? Or are there like fancy schools that use all that stuff?
He leans back and starts thinking about it a little bit, and he goes, "No, it's funny. There's a lot of those kind of things where the civic and military use vehicles and things like that. I mean that does make sense. Yeah, I've got a few friends who work for some of the robotic repair facilities. You know what? That sounds like a great idea for a field trip. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea for something like that." And he's just nodding to himself.
I'll admit that, everything would be really easier if I had a robot to carry all my books around for me. Because then I wouldn't have to leave stuff at home every day. I could just have everything I needed all the time.
you already take so many extra books. You know that I think I'm gonna have to start going through that bag of yours, making sure you're not taking like 13 extra books.
I never know when I'm gonna need one, Dad.
You don't need advanced physics of black holes at school.
Maybe I do if I get really bored by the actual classwork.
Well, I already know that you do, so understandable, but so you guys go back and forth and kind of talk about that. But he kind of takes a liking to the idea of organizing a trip to the robot repair facility.
Jeannie is
there-
excited about that for like above board reasons and mildly nefarious reasons.
Yeah. Now, do you mention anything about Victoria?
I think she's gonna wait to try and drop the name more casually.
Okay.
She's a little worried about seeming suspicious.
As you're kind of going to bed for the night, you hear the front door open, and you hear high heels walking. And you hear your grandmother's voice as you're kind of just getting scooted up to bed. And you hear some voices, and I'm trying to remember your dad's name. What was it again? Robert.
As she's being kind of like shuffled up the stairs, she'll yell down, "Hi, Grandma. Good night, Grandma."
Oh, good night, Ginny. Now, Robert, I've brought a guest. And you kind of hear a bit of like a... You brought him here? And you hear a little bit of back and forth for a minute. And then all of a sudden... Ah, Dr. Fitzpatrick! Ah, good to see you, sir. As he walks in, roll me a sneak check.
Okay. I was gonna ask if I could, because she's definitely.
Yeah. I presumed you were going to.
Oh, can I? I'm gonna.
You only have one die in this.
Oh yeah, I do.
You're not a very sneaky child, but you can if you would like to.
No, I'm gonna leave it.
Okay. You at the top of the stairs, and you're not being very hidden as you hear the name, and you see your dad kind of go like, as in walks a gentleman. Little bit of a hunch as he walks in, and you hear a cane tapping along. And you see a gentleman, gray hair, a mustache, like a pretty thick mustache, and he takes off his scarf. And he goes, "Robert, it's good to see you." And he looks up the stairs, the old man. "And that must be your daughter, Jeannie." And he gives you a nice little kind of wave. And he goes, "Now, let's talk." And they go off into the living room, and you hear chatter. And as you go off to bed, and before we go to break, because this is going to be a decent spot to go to break at, we're going to take this as what Jeannie kind of thinks is happening. And kind of, you know, when TV shows do that thing where people talk in another room and the player characters and the characters aren't 100% aware. As a cognac is poured, you see Dr. Fitzpatrick, lean back a bit. Ugh. Robert, we need to talk about your project. It needs to be going a little bit faster. And we go to commercial break.
We'll be back in 15 minutes, right at 8 p.m. if that works for everybody.
Sounds good.
Took a chance. Do what you need to do. We'll be back shortly. See you soon.
Let me know when we're back.
We're here.
We're here.
Hello.
Hello. Hi there.
Hello.
Welcome to Roll for Beer.
Wrong one.
Wrong one.
I love it.
only
I'm
has
still going
It only
to
has pop.
I'm still going to pour my beer here.
Did you roll for it though? If not,
Yeah.
you're lying.
I mean, I rolled for it in my head because this is the beer that I wanted.
So obviously you got a 20 then.
Yeah, you rolled
Yes.
drinker's choice.
And it is Kite Man from Zero Issue Brewing. Anyway,
Nice.
yeah. It
Ooh,
The
your mug's
best
so
villain / anti-hero that DC ever created.
the goddamn such a bad character. I love him. Anyway, welcome back to Tales from the Loop, everybody. We have come back from break, and there is some weird things, and the Loop director has showed up at the Hawthorne residence, but we're going to be hearing the bell ring as we're at Friday afternoon. And you guys are now just finishing up at school. And finally, it's
What
the
class are we in?
weekend. You guys are in, you know what? I need to make this uncomfortable for everybody.
You say math, I swear to God.
Oh, what would be the health science or health life class?
Ah,
Is this like career planning things, or is this like
No.
the
no.
don't touch each other or babies show up?
No.
Babies.
Yeah, this is the 1980s version of sex ed, and it is just uncomfortable.
I remember the 7th grade.
Yeah, well, hey, you know what? They kind of the curriculum's been changing around a little bit. They're trying it out in this kind of grade right now, and it's just like, sadly, it's not very different than the 2010 version of it. Anyway,
I took mine online, not in class.
So, just a little side story here. There was 2 male teachers at my school to teach the boys.
Okay.
Now, one of the teachers was out sick.
Oh no.
So,
Out sick.
my grade 7 health class was taught to me by my father.
That sounds about right.
Oh, can you make it any more awkward?
But there you go. So, anyway, as this class finished up, I'm gonna say, the boys and girls were separated into different classes, and all the boys and girls, as soon as they see each other, just kind of do the look sideways, look left, look right. Definitely no eye contact.
Everybody's making Enos faces and looking awkwardly at the ground.
Yes,
Yes.
except for that one kid that's just like, wow, that was educational.
I didn't know
Mathematical.
anything about any of that stuff.
Shut up, Steven.
Damn it, Dave.
Yeah, everyone just looks over and is like, shut up, Steven. Steven makes a roll for willpower
upset.
and fails. And he goes off. Anyway, so you guys meet up after school. And this is shortly after the TV and radio incidents. And you guys have a study thing after school. You guys are in the library. And before you're allowed to go home for the weekend, you gotta do a little bit more studying, quote unquote.
See, it's basically just like detention, Dougie, except you don't have to shoot spitballs at the person that's sitting at the desk in front.
Yeah.
You don't have
It's
to,
a
but I
lot
mean,
more boring for sure.
and Enos is making very clear. It's like Paddles is doing well. Paddles has a good spot in that dollhouse, and they're doing good. I got most of the black sooty scorch marks off. That's all right.
Yep, and we just cut over to Paddles, and Paddles is just doing.
Playing solitaire with itself.
Yeah.
Is he shiny now?
Sorry.
Is he nice and shiny now?
He's definitely cleaned up. He's got even a little bow on him right now.
So I took some brake clean to him.
Yeah.
Just to, it's not good for anybody involved, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing I was also going to say is you don't know where it got its bow from, but it just has a little bow that landed on it somewhere. Things just seem to get stuck to it.
Probably from inside the dollhouse that I don't know where
Yeah.
it came from at all.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, yeah, you guys had a lot of that information from the TV kind of stuff like that. Are you guys wanting to do that? Or are you wanting to try and see if you can get the paddles to do anything? This is now your kind of open space to explore the clues that you have.
So I feel like Enos would have talked to Dougie about this specifically. On the whole, like, I was tuned in, I was on the CBC, and I was listening to the radio, and somebody's like, Red. And then a little bit later, after, like, I was trying to listen, and they're like, I grabbed the wrench because it was getting all friggin' weirdo, and I go to like open the back of that little Watchman there, and it's like silver, and just dropping the color hints that Enos experienced. It's like I didn't even like get a chance to really finish listening to the game. It was just really distracting.
Yeah, that's weird. I was listening, watching the game, and I heard Red and I see as well.
Huh. I see.
I'm not sure if it was AC or IC.
Oh. Like it's
Maybe it was
cold
IC.
outside? Oh. Or like they're
Yeah.
using their eyeballs to watch you.
I think eyeballs.
Oh. And yeah, he's just like prattling this off, sitting at a table.
No.
Definitely not studying, and there are no books open in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah. Junior, you're just kind of like, okay, I guess we have to talk about this.
Closes her book only slightly reluctantly because this is all really interesting. And it's like, wait, I heard something from my TV too.
What
did you hear?
First it said, those who know are all around. And then there was nothing for a bit. And then it said, green.
Like the color green?
I think so.
Well, that's spooky as hell. Because
it was
like
really weird.
that's a bunch of colors, and like maybe they the CBC and PBS got all wishy-washy, and it wasn't
No, I
like a
don't
Bob
think
Ross
that's
thing,
it.
right? Because he did.
I wasn't watching CBC yet, even, so
Oh,
I think Bob Ross is usually on in the morning. Enos.
I don't get that channel, but I know like people have been like titanium white kind of fellow, and
no,
that doesn't
titanium
sound
white.
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 What?
You
White.
spend 15 minutes trying to pronounce white.
White. But yeah, no, those who know are all around. That sounds really creepy and terrifying. Like-
It really does.
Like that would give me nightmares for days. I don't envy you hearing that kind
Do
of
you-
thing.
Do you want me to freak you guys out even more then?
You heard something too?
What?
I did. While we were watching hockey. I heard,
Did-
come find me,
Oh.
and I am Victoria.
Oh snap!
So we
wasn't
think
that
that's
one
who
of the
forced
things?
it?
It must be. Because remember, Jennifer heard that a woman's voice while listening to the radio, and some people were saying they thought they saw like a woman on.
Well,
through
and
the
weren't the
static on the
teachers looking for that girl who died?
Yeah. Well, they were looking for a yearbook.
So
Yeah. I don't think we.
you guys start. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just think we know she disappeared, not necessarily died.
Well, I know that the other week, did you guys get there was a phone call to my house in the middle of the night?
My dad got a
Yeah.
call in the middle of the night too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I managed to sneak down and listen, and my gran was talking to somebody and said somebody had died 15 years ago. So
I keep
So-
having this weird memory. I think
So-
it's a memory.
You guys are having all these different kind of thoughts and things like that. If you guys want some hints, what I'll get you guys to do is choose a skill that you think might help put these clues together. Think about the clues, think about what each part kind of means, and I will give hints based on what items you choose and what skill you use to try and comprehend them. Each of you get one on these.
Well, let's think about this for a second. So we got a bunch of colors, and this Victoria person was all talking to everybody through my radio and through your TVs. And then there was a robot that had that note you said, right? And it said hey, I'm Victoria or something.
It said, "Help me, Victoria."
So if we think about this, that maybe the robot was sent by this Victoria person because she seems to be doing all the weird things with the technologies.
I like
I
how you
want-
say technologies.
I wonder.
Well, it's like
Maybe-
gooses.
Maybe
Not right.
everybody thinks she's dead, and she wants them to know she's not.
That
She
that
somehow got
that
trapped
sounds
in
good.
the loop.
Maybe. We,
yeah, because the loop was running the other night.
Yeah, and every time that the radio to go I'd get those back and forths on it. And I've seen it on Dougie's TV, his screen kind of warbles for a second. And
Yeah.
So that's a thing. It happened every time that happened. Now I know me a ham radio and a little bit about fixing radios, but I don't know much about TV radio things. But yeah, maybe she's broadcasting a signal from somewhere.
So
I don't know. I'll try tinker and see if maybe I can think of a way to.
So what piece of evidence would you tinker with? What from all the pieces of evidence, you can include the robot, you can include anything. What would be the part you would be what makes sense to Enos?
I'm looking at this as a not so much a physical manipulation, but grabs a scrap duotang and starts scribbling on the back, and he's well, radio frequency runs at this wavelength, and
Got it.
TV frequency runs at this wavelength, and that little robot had little ears on it, but didn't really have much of an antenna sticking off the back, which means that it'd need to be relatively short wave for it to be picking up a signal of some kind. So
Okay,
either
perfect.
something's plugged in and pumping out a whole lot of juice, or it's got to be reasonably close for it to pick stuff up, unless she's a ghost, in which case I don't know the accurate frequency because I don't have a TV and I missed that episode of Scooby-Doo on what frequency ghosts work at.
Okay, perfect.
But-
I like that. That's perfect.
I'm trying to figure out,
Love it.
essentially, should we look in a direction of like a giant radio tower, or like a broadcast station in town, or like the loop
Yeah.
underground, or something.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna give that a go. That is no successes.
Nope.
I'm gonna burn my luck point to re-roll that.
Okay.
Also no successes, and I have 7 dice on it.
So I'm gonna say you get the upset condition. However, this is like you get a headache. You're like,
Okay.
but if this frequency works at this frequency and this works at this frequency,
So do I get the upset condition instead of burning the luck point to re-roll?
you can do that if you'd like, because that is you can either spend a point of luck or take a condition.
I'm gonna burn my point of luck.
Okay.
Specifically.
Okay.
Because Enos shits the bed on his rolls when he has any conditions.
All right. So Enos is
Fair.
kind of going around in circles, and he's just like, all right, but if this frequency equals this frequency, which equals this frequency, which equals this frequency, and there's just like starting to be like a circle of frequencies, and
And it
it's-
makes a loop. Look at this. What does it mean? What does it mean?
it's all loops down here. All right. Does anybody else have a piece of evidence and a skill they would like to try and combine to get a hint?
If
Yes?
Sophie hasn't acquired a 1965 yearbook, I would have attempted to steal one at some point.
Okay. Perfect.
That sounds excellent.
I will say you can use sneak for that.
And I would have like done, like, because I heard them talking to my grandma about the yearbook.
Yep.
Or asking about a girl. I would have checked our house too, because maybe she has a yearbook for some reason.
Yep. That is more than fine.
I'm gonna burn a luck to re-roll that.
Oh, there you go.
Yay!
Never mind.
These rolls.
job.
These rolls.
So you guys go to the yearbook section and you realize that it's like all the yearbooks are gone at the moment. But you do remember that one of the teachers had one of the yearbooks at their desk. And you're able to go in and you're able to grab it. So you're able to sneak into one of the classrooms. You can see that the teachers, there's still a couple of teachers around at the school at this time. But you're able to sneak into one of the classrooms and you're able to just yoink. And you get back to the library and you're like,
Good on you,
Start
bud.
flipping through it.
Yeah. Now, I will allow you guys, I'm going to need 2 successes, all of you to roll comprehend on this yearbook.
And look on the cover where it says like Red Deer Public School, there's a little swirl and stars. That's not a
What if one
coincidence. man.
person makes 3 successes?
That is the successes. You're fine. I forgot that Jeannie is really good at this skill.
What if one person makes no success?
That's okay, I didn't either. I figured you meant like
We
2
have
as
4 all together.
Yeah,
So.
it was to roll as a group. Like group get 2 successes. No. Jeannie's just like no. Go
He's
away.
like, I got this.
And you guys start going through that yearbook. Now, I'm going to do all these at the end. So, Sophie and Jeannie, I still need what kind of clues you guys are trying to piece together here.
Jeannie wants to sit down with the robot again.
Okay.
And see if comprehend will let her devise any type of communication or nonverbal language or anything that it might be using.
Okay, I'm gonna say that that's not possible at the moment because the robot is still at the farm.
Okay.
However, I will let you come up with something to try and communicate with at the library.
Actually, I will look into that later then.
Okay.
What would the role be to try and kind of take myself back, walk through some memories of
Ooh.
that might be sparked by that one little memory of hearing someone say Victoria is missing.
Okay. This is going to be hard. I'm going to say it's investigate, but I want 2 successes from you.
Okay.
So, like,
And if I can get more information from it, like if it's maybe 1 success, I would love to see if maybe she can actually remember whether it was her father's voice or not.
I will give you that.
Okay. Let's no whammies, no whammies.
No whammies, no whammies.
1.
1.
I would like to re-roll that.
Okay, before you re-roll it,
Uh-huh.
know that if you fail this, you will be getting 2 conditions.
Womp womp.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure one of them's gonna come from a fucking headache. No, I'm gonna try.
Pushing through.
Just Jeannie would not stop trying. There's no way. Okay,
Okay,
still just
1 success.
So does that count as 2 successes total for the system?
No, it does not.
It's a
All right.
reroll.
Nice try, though, sir.
It's fun, but
So
You shouldn't fail.
Jeannie sits back and she starts to just kind of think. You still take a condition because you are pushing to try and remember this. You get the injured, I believe it is.
so it's a real bad headache.
This is a really bad headache. Like, this is like you know when you get those headaches that give you like almost the lines in your vision,
Yeah.
Auras.
you kind of
Yeah.
get that
Mhm.
because you're trying to remember. However, you do remember this party. This was when you were 6, 7. Or no, sorry, not 6 or 7. This was about a year ago. This is when the headaches first started happening. It was not your father. Your father was sitting down with you, stroking your head as you got your first headache from this. But there was 2 people that you remember. The one, just some nameless scientist. You just remember because you remember your dad talking to him at some point. The other person, however, was Dr. Fitzpatrick. Your father was not involved.
But he was there, which means that Jeannie knows that both her father and the director know who Victoria is and that she's missing.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, Sophie,
Yes.
through the evidences, what is kind of hitting you?
Would at some point Sophie would have heard the voice like on the radio too, like not just from the TV.
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
so. A lot of people have been hearing it all over town and everything like that.
Okay. Would she have seen like how like when people say they see her on TV, is it like grainy, like image
Some-
of her, like what?
Some
on a
people
pic-
might have seen a picture of somebody or something like the static comes through, and it's almost like an outline of a person's face.
Okay, so it's not like very.
It's
detailed.
not detailed.
Okay. Oh, I thought that was me. In that case, can I use comprehend to see if the voice from the radio matches the voice I heard on the TV?
I will say this without a roll. Yes.
Okay.
It is the same voice.
Okay. Did we... Maybe I missed it. I was thinking of other stuff. Did we say we split through the book and found Victoria yet?
I was
No.
waiting for your guys' last kind of comprehending or using your skills and the clues.
Oh, okay.
And then I was going to go for that.
Okay. So you are.
I know
gonna
that-
plus then.
I've definitely, when I mentioned the phone call, I would have mentioned that the phone number was, I had all but the last
Yes.
digit.
Yep, and that was in the previous part.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't think so then.
Okay. All right.
Those are what came to mind in here.
Okay. Fair. There was one thing I was kind of looking for, but that is fine because you're ending up flipping through the yearbook and you come to, or Jeannie, I'm going to say, because Jeannie's like, nope, I need to distract myself. Flip, 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 flip.
Jeannie's like, but
Victoria,
like, with
Victoria,
one
Victoria,
eye.
Victoria, 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 Victoria.
Enos has found a cork board with a bunch of push pins and string, and he's like, "See, it's in a circle. It's not a coincidence.
It's a loop.
It's a loop."
So, as you're flipping through the books, you come across the grade 12s. Or did Alberta go to grade 13 or grade 12?
12.
12? Because I know
Yeah.
there's some provinces that do 13, right? I'm not
I
crazy.
thought that was
Not
out east.
anymore, but
That's out east.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, grade 12s. You flip through. And you find Victoria. And you read out. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make this more dramatic because that's half the fun. I'm going to send you a quick message on Discord. Okay, and then just to make it even more dramatic.
this has to be her. It's the only Victoria. Looks like she graduated in 1965. Victoria Fitzpatrick.
The head scientist.
The director's last name.
Yeah, it's the old man, the one that's
Yeah.
banging a grandma, like that feller.
Yeah.
I don't.
You got to remember who Enos's mom is and what her reputation is around town.
I don't know if Jeannie's told anybody that her grandma is dating him.
Okay, that's
Unless
fair.
I can
That's fair.
remember me specifically saying that.
I withdraw my comment.
So good though.
What? Jeannie would have been mortified.
Oh,
That is the name that you read, and then you go flipping through the book still, and you find she was part of the AV club. She was part of there is pictures of them going to the Loop construction site. There's all of this kind of stuff. And she was quite the prolific person in the yearbook.
Do you think that she's the director's daughter? I think she'd be the right age.
Well, I mean, isn't he like 1,000,000,000 years old though?
No,
Would he
he's
be
not.
her father or?
Maybe your grandfather? Like
Maybe.
ancestor?
How
He showing he has no
Which-
idea how age works.
would Jeannie have a guess at how much older than her father the director is after seeing him in person?
About 20 to 30 years.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jeannie's like, I mean, I think he's about 20 or 30 years older than my dad. And this is 20 years ago. So, I mean, that's the right
jeez.
age.
Your dad's really old.
She-
Your mom is about the same age as her
I mean-
dad.
Most parents are
But
pretty
she
old.
dresses significantly younger.
Oh, good God, yes.
If this was like more recent, she would buy all her clothes at like Forever 21,
Yep.
right?
100%.
Enos is once again demonstrating that he has no game whatsoever when it comes to talking to ladies. He is having a hard time.
Between
As
the headache and her own thought processes as she reads this, like Jeannie has gone like white as a sheet. She's a little shaky.
Yeah. Now, these are the kind of things that you've figured out. And you've figured out that, yes, that is most likely, or the coincidence is way too much.
It's a circle.
It's a circle. But I mean, this is how conspiracy theories are born, right?
So
Do we? Oh, go ahead.
no,
Ian.
No,
No,
Sophie, go
no.
ahead.
no, sorry. Go ahead, ma'am.
You don't need to call me ma'am. Do you know, Sophie, or Jeannie, do you know, does your dad know if there was like any accidents, like when the loop was being built?
I mean, he's never told me about any, but I also don't think he'd talk about something like that. I mean, I don't think anyone at the loop would. They seem to only like talking about the good things that they do.
Well, I
If
mean,
they've ever made a mistake, they haven't.
stuff
it's
breaks at the loop all the time. Because they,
It does?
well, yeah, every time that they, like, you ever had your power go out like all of a sudden, but you're pretty sure your mom paid the bill? Like those rolling brownouts that we kind of get every now and again when they're really cranking stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like almost like clockwork. Whenever something like that happens, like within the next couple of days, they drop off a bunch of trash at our place. Like that giant metal wheel, pretty sure that it was hooked up to something underground, and oh my God, it's a circle.
Edith spends the rest of the day going, circles are everywhere! Tires! Tires!
What does it all mean? No. He's like, no, but they drop stuff off all the time, and like we scrap it and all that jazz. But yeah, and there's a bunch of weird stuff that I don't even know how to make hide nor hair of. And like, you know, every now and again, some fellers in like big yellow beekeeping suits show up, and they're like, nah, we need to take this one back. And they got these little boxes that go like and then they tell me to like stand behind the fence while they're doing it. But like I was pitching rocks at it, and I'm fine. Like it's fine.
If
As Enos scratches the
They
giant
do
lump
that
on his
again.
leg.
if they ever do that again, stay as far away from them as you can, okay? It does mean that it's dangerous.
Oh, but they didn't say it was dangerous when they dumped it in my yard in the middle of the night.
Well, they should. It's not fair
Oh.
for them to not.
Oh, well, okay then. All right, good.
So, you guys keep talking for a little bit, and then Mr. Green comes in and goes, "Oh, you're still here. Well, get going, you guys. It's well past 4. You guys were supposed to be done at 3:45. Go home.
Oh,
Enjoy the weekend. And it's snowing out, so make sure you guys get home safely now."
yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yep.
As
so
we
kicks you
as-
out of the library.
as we head out.
Like, I
Um,
want to go home.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that you're studying here, especially you, Jeannie, but go home.
You,
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
y'all got any plans for tomorrow? Because we could. Did Enos reason out anything at all from his circle theory about like how these things are talking? He failed the roll. He got no successes, obviously, for his.
Yes. He got no
tinker.
successes. I will let you re-roll it for free. However, you will get a condition if you fail.
Like something's ticking at him where he's like, I think the rationale is like the robot picked up signals in the barn.
Yep.
And like started like not just being jump charged, but it seemed to be able to communicate a little bit. And I wonder if it's for close proximity to all the junk that I've got. Is
Okay.
what he's trying to ponder out. I am my brain is exhausted.
Your
Like-
brain is exhausted.
I am tired at this point.
Yes. So I will say you get the exhausted. Yeah. Perfect. You get the exhausted. You're just like, fine.
Y'all wanna come over the barn tomorrow or over the weekend, or we can think about stuff, and like you can visit Paddles. Paddles is very happy. I still haven't figured out
Yeah.
a way to get them more charged, because I think
I
I've
would
gotten
s-
zapped a little bit.
Yeah, you know that you probably have a couple of days left.
Yeah.
Before you have to get them charged up.
Well, my dad said something about maybe a field trip to one of the robotics facilities. He knows people who work at one of them.
Oh,
Maybe I could learn something there about how we could charge it ourselves.
you know, I got a good idea then, because I'm pretty sure, because like I hooked him up to like 15 amps, and he had a bit of a hard time with that. So I'm pretty sure that we need some kind of like capacitations in the way. So
Capacitations.
look, he knows what he's on about. He just don't read real well.
It's all good.
What? So
It's
I
all
got
about the gooses.
I got a thing like a breadboard, that I can put some stuff together, and if we go there, maybe they can show me like some cool connectors and stuff. We can lie.
I mean,
Well, I
this
mean,
has
is
happened to my dad
it?
a couple times now, so
Yeah.
if it helps us find someone who's missing.
Well, that
And-
too, but I mean, the robot's really cool.
Robot is really cool. Well,
I'm
I'll
just
Well, my-
saying, like, if we can ask one of these folks at the robot museum about like a specialty kind of plug, and maybe we say it's for a school assignment. maybe they'll show us the right one, and then we can go to the Radio Shack and get the right thing, and it's not going to hurt paddles.
Well, my dad mentions it again. I'll see if I can convince him, or maybe he already wants to take the whole study group. But if he's not planning on it, I bet I can convince him that we should all go.
Cool. Well, my phone works now. For like another, like at least 2 weeks. So, do you want to ask and maybe call us tonight, and we can plan some stuff?
Yeah, I can ask about it tonight.
He is obviously exhausted because he's too tired to fumble over his words talking to a girl.
Whereas
Yeah.
Jeannie kind of is fumbling over her words because of like the searing pain through half of her head.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
you guys head on home for the evening. Now, Jeannie, I want a roll from you to convince your father.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that you're just trying to convince him to just take you and your friends. Maybe not a field trip exactly. Just take you and your friends.
Is this like a charm roll of some kind?
I
or-
would say charm. Now I know that Jeannie's not proficient with charm.
No.
Lead?
However, I would say that because it's your father, you could do the word that I hate. The
That
bottom
fact-
skill.
Okay. That's what I was kind of thinking about. Like,
Yeah.
make a connection with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
The word that Riley, for some reason, can't pronounce. I don't know why. My brain just goes like, let's pronounce this word, please.
All right. Let's try. Ooh, that's not great. What time is it? Do I want to use my last luck? Yes, I'm going to use my last luck to reroll that.
Okay.
Please, 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 please. Oh.
All right. He goes, no, you guys have to study tomorrow. You know that. I'll drop you off at Enos's farm tomorrow, okay? And make sure you guys give him a call and let them all know that you're going to be meeting up at the farm tomorrow. All right? I'll talk to the maintenance manager next week. But you guys study tomorrow, okay?
Okay, but you promise that you'll ask about it next week?
I'll promise. And he forgets.
Oh, she's going to remind him every day, though.
Yes.
100%.
He'll still forget. So yeah, the plan doesn't work out that way. But
Enos totally spent a boatload of time like prepping a breadboard,
yeah,
and it's wired up, and he's like, now I just need a power source. And he looks at the like half dryer plug that he shaved off to plug into this little robot, and he's like, because I should bring this with me and be like, I tried this, but you can see the char marks.
you just see like the guys all just like the repair guys going like, I mean, it would work. It's like, yeah, but oh my god,
It'll run something real big for 5 minutes.
it's like, no, that's just gonna blow that thing's amperage. Yeah, like that's oh.
Like, he was totally prepared for Jeannie to come through because girls are magical. And
She's
no-
gonna be like really sad when she phones to tell him
Yeah.
that her dad said no.
You
Yeah.
and me both.
Sophie would like to flip through the phone book to try and find this number.
Oh, okay.
Would that
So
be-
yeah, because you guys did share the phone number and everything
Yeah.
like that.
I've been thinking
that
about it
would
for a
be-
while, and
Yeah.
like, yeah.
That this would be a comprehend.
Okay.
And remember that you have that one free luck point that I said.
I don't know why I'm so scared. Okay.
It's a big yellow book.
Yes.
Yes.
Those pages are yellow, but you're not.
Let your fingers
You're not
do
afraid at
that.
all.
All right.
Oh,
So you lie down on your bed, and you're starting to flip through the yellow pages and the white pages, trying to find numbers that match. And you're just like, this is stupid. Why am I doing this? And you're just like, you kind of throw it to the side, and then the book just kind of, you look down, like, wait a minute. And you pick it up, and you're at bars, pubs. James, you gave a name to a certain pub.
That'd be the Possum Lodge, because it's
The
painted red,
Possum
green, and
Lodge.
silver.
Red, green, and silver.
Duct tape forever.
And then all of a sudden,
Radio.
to Sophie, it fucking clicks. Red, green, silver. I see. Those who know are all around. Everything starts clicking. And Sophie screams in the middle of the night, like, oh my freaking God.
That's good, because James didn't pick up on shit.
Yeah.
And you start calling all three of them, and like, you hear Dougie's grandma pick up. Hello? Oh, just 1 second. Dougie!
Coming!
Out for you!
Super polite and be like, thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
Sorry
I'm
for
coming.
calling polite.
I love it.
Oh, don't worry, dearie. It's all good. And your grandma tosses you, and yeah. So you let everybody know. So you now have some clues, and you have some answers, and you have some other things kind of going on.
Well,
and it's the next morning.
Spelled awesome. That's okay.
you know, it's a circle. Like a possum eating its own tail.
The Arboreous opossum.
The Ouroboros possum.
The furriest Ouroboros you've ever seen.
That is a tattoo on some guy's butt right now too. Is a possum eating its own tail?
You know, I would argue that that's a much better band name than Ghost Frequency. Is the Ouroboros possum.
Anybody wanted to pay for it, I would get that tattoo in a heart.
So,
I love it.
Your metalhead brother comes bursting in and goes, I have the best idea for a band name. Anyway. So we go to the next day. The four of you meet up at Enos's farm. Paddles is on the ground, like on the ground level, kind of waddling around. And you guys have a destination. Or you have some more ideas. What would you guys like to do? It's 9 a.m. You got plenty of time to get out to town. There's a bus that comes by.
Do we feel like there's enough time to get there and get back? Because we only have like an hour? Or...
Oh no, you guys, the parents have decided that you guys can hang out for most of the day. And by that, I mean you got plenty of time.
Should we for
Oh,
what Sophie
oh my god,
found?
somebody actually has that tattoo already.
They
hell
most
yes.
certainly do.
No way.
Yeah.
James just posted it.
There's a lot, apparently, of Ouroboros possums
Oh my gosh.
on the
yes.
internet. Holy shit. Yeah.
I love that.
Oh man, I love that for the internet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I needed.
So that said, with what Sophie found, do y'all want to look at Possum Lodge?
Can we even get in there?
Well,
Well,
if it's a bar, we probably can't.
Well, if
It's
it's,
a
a pub, though.
Yeah, like it. If it's what time of day is it so far?
You said 9 a.m.
The morning.
It's morning.
Like, so I've been in there before, where I was looking for Ma, because
Yeah.
she hadn't come home yet, and I found her there. Sometimes I didn't find her there, but like it wouldn't be all out of place or anything. And she didn't come home last night, so I mean, if she is there still, she's not going to be in any mood. But maybe she's not, and maybe we'll see something that points us to our space ghost.
You think it's gonna be dangerous there, Enos? Like,
Well, I mean, like, not in the morning. Like, most of the folks that I've seen in there that are like, you got to watch where you're stepping and stuff, because there's a couple of folks that like they slept on those stools overnight and like, where are your rubbers, that sort of thing. But no, they were always real kind to me. Everybody just kind of looked a little sad.
Uh-huh.
okay. Well, just in case, I think we should all. 'Cause we're going to a bar. I don't think either of you two girls have ever been in a bar before.
Fake
Pub,
mustaches.
It's definitely gonna work.
Here, take these in case of an emergency, and I'll dole out some cherry bombs
Yep.
to the two of you.
Everybody, add to your inventory for this episode. Cherry bombs.
Cherry
And
bombs.
I'm
I love
gonna also, because I have lead, I will, if you are accepting this, I'm gonna try to attempt a lead roll.
You get it?
So we have two
So-
dice. Extra
Two dice with these. Yep.
I still have
So
that
they're plus
bike
two.
blockchain too. I could use.
That's right. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
We're gonna turn her into a hooligan yet.
And you have the strength to use it, so
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Perfect.
yeah, so I can assign it to people as long as they do what I say. Is what I.
Yep,
like it.
and that's fine. That can be interpreted as well.
Yeah.
So, you guys wait for the bus. Because hey, your kids, you can't drive and it's snowed, so you can't really bike.
Enos had
And-
to hoof it down a long road to where the buses will eventually drive to in the first place. But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it takes you about 20 minutes to get down to the stop, but you get down there. And the bus just arrives just as you guys get there because 80s movies, that's always the way it goes.
Mhm.
And you guys get on and you guys go into downtown Red Deer. And you're starting to see posters for get your plot now, get your skybox now, and advertisements all over the place for the mega rise that's being built at the moment. You guys have heard about this project a little bit, but not really too much on your minds at the moment. And bless you. Or
Thank you.
and you guys make your way off the bus, and you find the most rundown. As soon as the owner dies, this place is getting demolished. Pub that you've ever seen in your life. Like this might have been one of the first buildings in Red Deer. You're not sure.
not lying when I said it's held together with duct tape. Like every corner of the building just has like a good solid 2.5 feet of duct tape on either wall.
Does it have like a C health and safety rating on the front door?
Yeah, C.
It has a health rating. You know how Enos changed the marks in the first episode? It's kind of like that.
And the O in possum is literally a possum chase. It's supposed to be chasing its own tail, but the sign's all broke as shit, so it's just like half inside itself.
Yeah,
And it looks like it was put half inside itself with hammers.
yes. Roll me a d6, Enos. Just a d6.
Sure.
And
Sorry,
I haven't looked at it
try
yet.
that again.
I haven't looked at it yet.
I rolled 11d6.
That's a little too many.
ambitious.
That's a little too many.
That'd be a 5.
That's a 5.
Yeah.
Your mom's car is not there.
All right. So, Dougie, Mom didn't come home last night, and she's not here, which means she drove somewhere else after spending the night at Possum Lodge.
Maybe
She's
she's
probably
somewhere-
buying groceries right now. And he processes nothing further.
And Dougie just behind her's like, you know that class we took on Friday?
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Fairly certain that after all of the radiation, Enos doesn't have to worry about any of that stuff.
All right. So,
What do you mean, sterile?
oh, Steve. So,
Don't worry about
it. You guys make your way inside the pub. The so what's a good word to describe it? It's
Dank.
Yep.
The dank.
Musty.
The dank, musty, gross, and horrendous.
You know, the word squelch
Horrendous.
comes to mind.
The smell of
Ooh.
stale beer.
Why is the floor wet? Why is the ceiling wet?
The places that aren't wet are sticky.
Yeah, the places that
Yeah.
aren't wet are sticky. But you know what? For some reason, it's a pretty lively place. For some freaking reason, there's a lot of people here who really like the fact that it's about maybe 10 o'clock by the time you guys get there. They actually have a decent brunch special. Toonie Saturdays, or sorry,
There
they don't
wouldn't
have
be
those
toonies back
No.
then.
$2
brunch.
$2
Buckabeers.
brunch. Buckabeers. $2 brunch Saturdays. And you know, $2 Saturdays. That's what they call it. $2 Saturdays.
Feed your family for $2.
Yep, basically. And you know, it's plates of eggs, bacon, and toast. And it's, you know, in the background you're hearing Dolly Parton, a bunch of Hank Williams Jr., Lee Greenwood, like it's classic country going on in the background here, and some newer country. Ooh, that they try and change immediately because it's newer country and that doesn't make sense to people.
That Marty Stewart fella.
Yeah. This guy named George Strait, not related to Enos Strait, but you know,
Slightly
as you
different.
slightly different. And you guys walk on in, and they don't bat an eye. They're like, one of the servers even goes up to you guys. What are you having today?
To look older, I've definitely like lit a cigarette and I'm smoking it.
No, you're underage. Okay. And she skates on past you guys. She's
Yep.
Apparently, sorry, I said skates on past. Shit, this is the one lady in the restaurant who is wearing rollerblades for some reason, or roller skates for some reason.
She works at the roller rink next door.
Yes.
Just like moonlights Saturday mornings as a waitress.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, looking around,
Hmm.
do we see any TVs or anything that doesn't look like like they probably got a jukebox.
Yep, they got a jukebox.
Does anything look not run down as heck? Like, does anything look like it's recently renovated or has a little more traffic or care?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say that there is. I would say that there is in it. Yeah, you can see it from where you are. You can kind of see into the back room area. And you actually see a Commodore 64 in the back.
Okay. Like, everything here is all worn out, but check it over there. Like, it seems like somebody's taken some care, and like nobody's taken any care of this place in forever.
No.
And I mean, if she's saying like those who know that are all around, means probably that everybody in this place that's hanging out knows what happened or knows, something. So what's the bartender's name here, Luke Director?
You know what? It's gonna be Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly.
I
see.
Yeah, no, he's comes out from Ireland. He's just here for a little while now.
I see. I like it.
Yeah.
Mr. Bill O'Reilly.
Mm-hmm.
No relation to the American fella.
No, none. None.
I
straight ace here. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I look around and like I make eye contact with him if he's around. And like,
yeah, you see him making some Caesars. Because no. Hey, it's an Albertan made thing.
It most certainly is. I make so gross. I make eye contact with him and like I'm pretending that I'm like scanning around the place, like he's seen me here before.
Hi, Enos. How you doing there, bud? How you doing there, boy?
I like snatch my toque off my head immediately and hold it in my hands, and I kick off my boots like or shake them off and walk up. Hello, sir.
How you doing there, boy?
And he's just like looking around. He doesn't quite give a straight answer.
What are you kids doing down here?
Ma didn't come home last night, and I figured if anything she was going to be coming back here real soon, sir.
I didn't see her ma last night. Keep in mind I was done a little early last night. I lost my accent already. Jesus Christ.
That's all right. Sir, I know, strictly speaking, them folks over at the government don't take too kindly to me being here, even though I ain't doing nothing wrong, and it's really none of their business.
Well, it's family till about 12.
Yeah. Would you mind if we just kind of like hung out for a little bit till Ma comes about?
Oh yeah, go right ahead. Here, take that booth over there. Tell you what, breakfast is on me.
Oh, like Enos is genuinely moved and like almost teary-eyed a little bit. He's like, "Thank you, sir, so much. Thank you so much."
Don't mention it. It's on me.
I noticed you got one of them there video games in the back. I heard the kids at school talking about them.
Oh, the Commodore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old Possum James got it for us.
If we wash up real nice after eating, would you mind if I take a look at it? I ain't never played on one before.
Give me a charm check.
Sure. I really suck at these, but I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna give you a free reroll just because
He looks haggard as hell because he's exhausted.
yeah.
No, I'm just like, he's a whole lot more forthcoming with Bill O'Reilly than he's ever been before.
Yeah, and he's just like
He pushed it.
He pushed it and he's like, sorry, can't
Hey,
do that.
I understand expensive machinery and all. Like, I get it. I understand. Thank you, sir.
No worries. And you see him pouring himself a Guinness.
I like it, as he should be at 10 in the morning.
At 10 in the morning.
In a
5 o'clock
sticky
somewhere.
place. It's 10 o'clock somewhere. If I worked in a bar in Red Deer in the 80s, I'd be drinking Guinness at 10 o'clock in the morning too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys sit down, and you guys start reviewing your notes, and kind of things like that. As the greasiest bacon, the greasiest eggs, and toast that is slathered, and I mean slathered in butter, arrive at the table.
They put the plates down and the food just like jiggles as though it was Jello, but it's not. It's bacon and eggs and toast.
Yeah, it's just like just looking at it, you're just like, Jeannie, you're just like, oh, I didn't know they made food like this.
Enos is gone.
And Sophie, you're just looking at it and like, Mom's gonna kill me if she finds out I ate this.
The mental gymnastics of like, I shouldn't be carbo loading right now.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys start reviewing your notes. I want comprehend checks from everybody, actually. Comprehend or and you guys can help each other with this because I believe the rules for comprehend and those kind of things is you can give people bonuses if you succeed.
Comprehend.
Or investigate.
So with comprehend you get additional information and +1 bonus die to one roll when you use the information.
Don't worry about it. Jeannie just decided to get 3 successes again.
Okay.
Right.
I was gonna be like, yeah, you guys need 3 successes to get like some extra information.
Well,
With
Enos
injured,
gets no
she's got 3.
successes at all.
Yep.
That.
Neither do I.
you are just like eggs.
Like I'm
Looking up
eyeing
there.
up Sophie and Jeannie's breakfasts, and I'm like, I'm not saying anything, but I'm like,
Are you,
Oh,
you girls gonna eat
I
those?
ate before I
Or
left. Ate before I left the house. I'm just, boy, I'm way too
so
full for
full.
this. And she'll push her plate toward Enos.
if you're sure, and he's
Yeah, we don't want it to go to waste.
Yeah.
he's like,
I sir Dougie will inhale two portions as well.
Yeah, you guys, you guys just inhale this, and you're just like, you guys, with how stringy you guys are, you guys may have put on a pound.
Maybe I haven't been clear on how severely malnourished Enos is the majority of the time.
Yeah. So comprehending as you guys just watch these boys inhale this food after you guys tried maybe a bite or two and you were like, that's nothing but butter and egg.
Breakfast of champions.
Don't even taste it. It's just going in so fast.
Yeah, no, the bacon might be bacon.
It slid down. That's all that matters.
So you're looking around and you're thinking about everything. I see red, green, silver, but like nothing is exactly red, green, or silver.
Yeah, like
And
the paint job on the outside of the building was what Enos was thinking about.
and your guys are thinking about this, and Jeannie, you realize something as you were walking in. There's a possum on the outside that's made out of red, green, and silver duct tape.
Very artistic.
Poor man's taxidermy.
And
Vegan taxidermy.
vegan taxidermy.
That's fair.
And yeah, you realize that, like, wait a minute. I saw that. I saw red, green, and silver. And you get up and you run outside. And as you get outside, you see it. The red, green, and silver possum. And across the way, just peeking between some buildings, you see a dish on a roof.
Do I notice anything else out of the ordinary? Like, does that dish, is it on the roof of a store or a house?
It's behind it, so you can tell that it's on a different building,
Okay.
like just past like the kind of street that you're on.
Jeannie thinks about it for a second and she's like, I mean, I can just walk to the other side of the street. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So she is going to, cross the street and see if she can get to a point where she can see between the buildings to see what this is on the roof of.
Do you guys follow?
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
I quickly finish whatever I'm eating, and then she
Enos
doesn't immediately
is
come back
doing the
right
thing where
after.
he's just like,
Yeah.
Jeannie
Cleaning
doesn't
it.
check to see if anyone's following her. She like tunnel vision.
tunnel visions. Yeah.
I give a quick nod to Mr. Bill O'Reilly.
He goes,
Uh,
all right, boys, you have a good one, and girls.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
That possum outside, is it a sculpture? Like attached to the ground, or is it attached to the wall?
It's attached to the wall.
Okay. So you got a possum duct tape to the wall, basically, and then surrounded in duct tape so it wouldn't smell.
Yep.
And then spray painted.
No. It's a possum. It is a possum made out of duct tape,
Okay. All right.
like on the wall. Like it's the shape of a possum,
Okay.
but it's
So-
red, green, and silver.
Paper
it's-
mache possum.
It's not a paper mache possum that we could potentially stuff full of cherry bombs and blow up, is what I'm hearing.
I mean, now it is. Anyway,
Why would you want to blow up part of his bar?
Because there might be a
It-
ghost girl inside that needs to be set free.
so
Enos, I think Jeannie's seeing something. She's in the middle of the road.
Oh, dude, no, don't do that. You'll get hit by a car. They don't care about anybody here.
I mean, you're not wrong, but also it's Red Deer in the 80s. There's not that many cars on the road.
There's 50,000 people.
It was, I think, around 40.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys start kind of booking it down towards following Jeannie, and you guys find a CBC station.
It's a circle. The logo.
CBC's behind everything.
The CBC's behind everything.
But yeah, it is a CBC station. And as you guys are standing there, you feel it. Feel the pressure. And it starts at your feet. And it goes through your bodies. The goosebumps, the feelings, everything goes through you. You see one man standing at the front. He's just wearing a small local security guard kind of thing. And you see one person show his reporter's badge. The security guard nods and lets him in.
Jeannie, is this? What are you doing?
I mean, I just saw this place. And I don't know, just had a feeling. Are radio stations supposed to have this much security?
Well, I mean,
Usually.
there's a bunch of power that you need to hook up to them, their antennas and stuff, and I don't know why they got those dishes up there. That seems a little weird. But that's like microwave frequencies.
Yeah, there's something really weird about this building. Just
Well, it is the
Are we-
CBC.
I think it's a front.
Wanting to break in?
I mean,
Dougie,
we have
that's a
some
crime.
stats.
Not if you
He
have
can't even keep a straight face when he says that.
not if you have probable cause.
That sounds just crazy enough to work.
That's not a thing that kids have.
Sure. Sophie, do you have a pet of some kind?
What?
Like, run with me on this. You got a dog? You got a dog? A cat?
Yeah,
a gopher, like a-
CBC.
I think Edith is right. I've heard you talking about a dog before, right?
Yeah, I'm just asking because I mean, hypothetically speaking, if we were hypermathizing here, we could say, "Oh my goodness, my poor pet ground squirrel, like Eustace, has become lost," and I swear that I saw him run into that building behind that feller with the badge, and we just really need our pet back. And that seems legitimate to me. Like, who would keep somebody from their pet ground squirrel?
Maybe use cat instead.
Like a barn cat? No, those little guys
like
are too surly.
Like a house
House
cat. You
It's
know?
a house cat. Cats aren't allowed in the house.
You sweet summer child.
No, like they climb on things to try and eat your food, and cats aren't allowed in the house.
I mean, it's
Enos is
either that
genuinely
or we
confused and
create a bit
scratching
of
his head.
we create a bit of a distraction for the guard. I'm sure we could slip by.
Yeah, well, y'all are pretty quick. Jeannie, what do you think? Like you got the feeling in your tummy.
I don't think that security on a place like this is going to be fooled that easily.
Well, one thing I know is that people like to throw stuff away, which means that a building like this has probably got a back door in an alley with a bunch of dumpsters. And be that as it may, I've got a handy dandy little, and he reaches into his grandpa's tool bag and he pulls out like a mini pry bar about yay long.
Yep.
And he's like, and if those don't work, I'm pretty good with these. And he pulls out a couple like long, thin looking, they look like screwdrivers that are kind of bent a little bit.
Like
I
a
didn't know
lock
you had a set
picking
of
set.
picks.
Well, yeah, like sometimes we get like machinery in that you need to rejigger and get a door open and stuff. And sometimes Ma leaves her keys at the Possum Lodge and locks me out of the house. So you can only break so many windows before you got to start asking. And like I don't mean anything bad by it. Like, you know, Deputy Fleming showed me how these things are supposed to work, because he has to help people sometimes when they lock their keys out because it's the 1980s, and people called the police for the RCMP for that back in the day.
Speaking of, an RCMP car drives past, and Ned Fleming's waves to you, Enos.
I take my hat off and I like tilt a little bit. Yeah, the deputy there. But we can. why don't we check in the back alley and see if maybe there's less folks around. Maybe they left something propped open.
All right.
Definitely has a point.
We're just looking. We're not causing harm to no folk.
Let's walk
Okay.
around.
Just trying to help this Victoria. I mean, it sounds like she's trapped, right?
We're just looking for our friend.
Okay. So you got to the back door or back alley kind of thing like that. And there is indeed a back door. And it does have a lock on it.
Well, yeah, let's
So I would say this is a force, Enos.
all right.
Because you're trying to force the lock open.
Yeah. This is very much in that vein.
I'll give you a bonus die because I feel like
Yeah,
I
go right
suggested
ahead.
we break in.
This is totally up your alley. Like we're just trying to find a friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll stick it in and try and force it open. And there's one bonus die on that.
Yeah.
And you
That
get
is-
your +2 bonus on your tool bag too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well that's one success. I'm just gonna roll another 2d6.
dice.
And
Nope.
neither of those is a 6, so it's one success.
One success. You get it to click open.
Yeah.
And the door just
Oh, looky here, and I immediately put the tools away. I'm like, hey, maybe when our friend was wandering into this place, they kept the door propped open just in case, so they wouldn't get lost.
All right. Everybody can do a sneak check. I'm looking for a certain amount of successes within the group.
I'll give a
Yeah.
bonus die to Jeannie for the stealth if she's coming in with us.
Yep.
That's a success, failure.
How many successes did you guys get?
2,
Four.
4.
4.
I'm going to say that works. Now, I'm going to say that back in 5th grade, you guys visited a CBC radio station.
Probably this one because it's in our town.
Yeah.
But you remember distinctly the CBC station was on the other side of town that we went to. That's weird.
It's a little odd.
As far as, like, I haven't heard anything on the news about them moving locations.
No, and you're very certain that they've never done that. And you guys move in. And all of a sudden, you can start seeing your breath almost immediately. Like you saw it outside because it's cold outside. You see it in here. Like, it is frigid in here.
Should be
You
warm in the building.
breathe in and it's sharp against your noses.
Well, it's actually kind of the opposite because if you're operating heavy machinery, most things they usually pump out a lot of heat, so they might have even turned off the heaters in the building. I mean, it'd be real uncomfortable if you had to work in a place like this, but I mean, it's a thing.
This is colder than outside, though, Enos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you guys walk in and you realize that it was a studio at some point, maybe. But you look into certain windows and you see racks and racks of servers. Some of them with even frost hanging off them. It is so cold. And some of them are almost like emanating heat, however. Some of them are like online and almost melting the cold, the icicles off the other rack, as if only half of it is in use. As you guys start moving into this place, every step you take, it feels like you can feel the loop's pressure even higher here. And you breathe in the air, and it gets colder and colder. As you guys move through, you do see some adults, but you guys are able to hide to the sides and hide to the shadows. As you see people who are wearing not full suits, but like they have their hoods down, but kind of just, I wouldn't say hazmat suits, but like white suits, as in like, have you ever seen those people who do or who work on circuitry and stuff like that?
Yeah, the electricians.
Yeah, very much like that. Like they're working on silicone kind of plates and stuff like that. You see those kind of people walking around. But you guys are able to duck into spots and see and be able to just hide. Jeannie, I want you to roll me a... I want you to either roll me a calculate or empathize check.
Hey, you said it.
I
You
did say
did.
it.
We did.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Yay!
Now let's all point it out.
I tried to say it so quietly. Anyway.
Ooh. I did not succeed.
You did not succeed?
No.
And you don't have any luck. You can give yourself the
Another
exhausted condition if you wish to re-roll. And you can roll before you give yourself that condition.
Does it specifically have to be exhausted?
Yes.
I was just thinking flavor-wise.
Did you have a better one?
Oh, I mean, Jeannie doesn't break rules, and they've just literally broken into a building. I think that, like, the longer she's in here, the more scared she would get.
Okay, I would give that to you.
But we'll... Come on.
2 successes. Give yourself the scared condition. So, you guys feel that pressure from the loop. You feel that. Jeannie, for you, it's different. It's almost as if it's the reverse. You feel pressure leaving your body. Or yeah, you feel like almost as if your body is like the opposite reaction to the loop. As you move in, you're getting deeper and deeper into this place. And you're moving around. You find this one locked room. I would like you guys to do stealth check one more time.
All right.
Oh, I guess I couldn't... There's actually no way I could have... I was guaranteed to fail on that.
What do you mean?
Because I don't actually have anything to roll.
For what?
I have for sneak.
Oh, for sneak. Oh yeah, you don't have anything to roll.
Nope. 'Cause
So
I
yeah,
only
nope.
have 1 and I've got -2.
All right. So, a couple of those guys in those suits come on, or hear some noise, as two of you are able to hide. However, I will give an opportunity if somebody wants to try and distract. But I need a good explanation on how and why. But keep in mind, at the same time, there's a locked room in front of you that Genie is drawn to. And that's why you've kind of moved down this way.
Yeah, Jeannie's having trouble like trying to force herself to even look away from it.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
something is pulling her in physically.
Yeah.
All right.
I think seeing Enos not get into cover, knowing that this was kind of my idea to begin with, I think I'm gonna try and knock one of them over and bulldoze past them down the hallway, off
Okay.
away from everybody.
perfect. All right. Give me a force check or a force skill. One success. So there's two guys who come around the corner and like, hey, who's there? And you go barreling into one of them, and you kind of check their hip, and you flip one of the people over you. He falls flat on his ass. And you go running down the hallway. And as you go running down the hallway, Dougie, you hear these two guys go, "Hey, there's a kid in here! How the hell did he get in here?" And you hear two people go running after you.
Cheese it.
Enos, there is a locked door in front of you. It's a bit of a weird lock. I will need you to do I will say force or tinker check.
Gonna do force on this.
Okay.
So again, looking
Then you get
for
plus 2 with your tools.
All right. Using reaching into the tools again, those long hook picks and the little pry bar to give it some lever. Roll. 2 successes.
That's exactly what I was actually looking for.
Yep.
Perfect.
So, the three of you are standing there as you hear Dougie running down the hallway. You might hear a cherry bomb or two.
Yep.
Yep. You
Yeah.
definitely hear a cherry bomb and smell gunpowder or like powder going off. And you hear, "Oh my god!" as no, don't throw it in there. And things
Enos
like that.
is so relieved that Dougie just saved the day, because that was much better than his plan.
Oh, no.
And you crack the door open, and the door kind of does like a, and you just see cold air come out. And the three of you walk in.
Now, normally Dougie's the one that does all the being where he's not supposed to be. But this seems real important to you.
Jeannie just nods and she's like, does anything change in how she's feeling when she steps into the room?
Very much so. As you walk in, the three of you, the room is this icebox. Feels like it's -40, -30 to -40. Like it is an instant, like chill to your bone kind of feeling. And there, inside the tube, suspended in a liquid, is a girl you recognize from the yearbooks. Victoria Fitzpatrick. Not looking a day over 19 years old.
She like suspended in a pod, like a pod, peoples.
This
Yeah.
is really weird, but
Is is she breathing? Like, does she got some tubes or something?
There's nothing. But what you see coming out of from her back of her neck is just series and series of wires that
Enos-
go out of the tube and into the towers that are being cooled. But you are in a room of -30 to -40, but the towers emanate a heat, like an unreal heat. It's this weird feeling in this room.
Enos thinks back to the images in that weird health class and flushes and looks at the ground like he's not supposed to be in here, because there's a lady floating in a tube and all she's got on is wires coming out of her back. He's having a hard time with this. Everything else is fine. This is not fine. He turns his back around to let the girls just deal with this.
Yeah. And in front of you, too, because Enos is kind of watching the door now.
Yep. I did my job.
There is a console or like a thing that you can like touch. Just like it's like some kind of weird orb of weird kind of I want to say like floating magnetic bits almost going around in a circle, constantly moving.
I mean, Jeannie's pretty scared right now. Because she definitely is kind of overwhelmed by the idea that this is the director's daughter. And her father, as far as she knows, is next in line for the director job.
Mm-hmm.
So there is this, like, even before the cold, there is this, like, chill in her bones that, like, she feels that she could be in an incredible amount of danger. But it doesn't stop her from moving forward and just resting her hands on the tube or the tank.
Okay.
And she just looks up and says, Victoria, we heard you.
Both of you that are still in the room, roll me a comprehend or empathize.
What?
Is that like every die?
Sophie, you're just like,
That's every die. Oh, well, let's see.
yeah, that is every die that she could basically get. Sophie, you're like,
That lady
fuck
ain't got no
this.
clothes on.
Like you're kind of like, fuck this. You are upset. You are scared. This is like, holy shit, no.
This is like way beyond what I thought we were gonna find.
Jeannie.
Mhm.
You know instinctively, and you move yourself and you put your hand on the rotating bits. And almost in an instant, it's almost as if the world becomes inverse in color. And you know those photos that are just completely inverse? That's immediately what you see. And standing before you, you see a glitching person. And you look at yourself and you see yourself as somebody who is glitching like static, like TV static.
Is it Victoria that I see? Can I
It's
not
the
tap
Victoria that you see in front of you.
Victoria? We've been looking for you.
Thank you.
We heard you.
She breathes out. And as we do that, we're going to end the episode here.
There it is.
Can I just have one more thing to try?
Yeah, of course.
Do? I assume this place has a PA system.
100% it does.
Do it.
I'm going to try and hook up my Walkman running around and play We're Not Gonna Take It. And I'm gonna use luck point.
Yeah, fucking do it.
Do it.
Yeah!
So, Enos, you get up to the front office, you burst in there, you take a chair, you shove it underneath the locking mechanism, and you go run over to the PA, and you're like, unplug this, plug this in. We ain't gonna take it. We ain't gonna take it.
It's the local like bluegrass hillbilly version to avoid copyright strikes. I love it. Steven Seagulls would be proud.
Yeah. I was gonna look up the lyrics, but I should have done that before. I mean, I didn't know.
We're not gonna take it.
We're not gonna take it anymore.
I like it.
Yes.
I know we're ending a few minutes early, but I mean, I have to leave it on this kind of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That is appropriate.
Yeah.
You don't apologize for shit.
Nah,
Good.
hell nah.
Oh, we're good.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today for this episode of Tales from the Loop. I didn't know if it was going to get to this point or not, but hey, sometimes roles go certain ways, and sometimes people figure out certain things in certain ways, and you know what? That's okay.
You can find us playing again next week, Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Same Canuck time, same Canuck channel. We will not, however, be playing Easter Monday on the 10th. We take every stat holiday long weekend off because people have stuff to do, and it's just easier that way.
Exactly.
If you like what we're doing, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you see whenever we release some more content.
Join our Discord.
Yeah, you can find our Discord in the doobly-doo. Thanks, John Green. The Discord community that we have has been pretty cool so far and pretty popular. And yeah, having a good time. Thanks everybody for stopping by, and thanks to our lovely players for another fantastic game.
And
Yeah.
just a quick little thing. Be wary what comes from the swamp.
Yeah. Also, thank you, Dougie, for cheesing it out of there, saving me, because Jeannie and Enos were the only ones that failed, and he was absolutely going to leave you guys to be hidden to figure things out and just kiss her. And they'd be like, "Hey, kids, get out here!" And people, that's fair. Yes, sir. Thank you. And now you have spared Enos all of that. So, thank you.
You have to bend over so far. He's got.
Yeah.
He's
We still gotta get out.
Than
So
her.
there's still
Yeah, we
time
still
for
have to
that.
get
We
out.
still got to get out. That might still have. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Enos is a very confused boy. He's trying his best.
He's
But
doing
suddenly
good.
there's naked ladies in tubes. All right. We're going to have a good night. You all have a good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
And